Recording in progress.
All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is a public meeting of the Wellfleet Selectboard, Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Time is now 6:03 p.m. And as customary, we will start with announcements and public comments. As always, public comments are limited to no more than 3 minutes per speaker. The board will not deliberate or vote on any matter raised solely during announcements and public comments. So first of all, does anyone on the board have any announcements? Sheila?
Yes, I do. Thank you. It's not working. Is it on? Is it on? Okay. Last night, the Wellfleet Community Forum held a forum on with Outer Cape Healthcare with Damien Archer. I want to call him Walker all the time for some reason. Damien Archer, the CEO, and he was just discussing. It was really an interesting conversation about how healthcare is funded in the community centers and the challenges that he's facing, and the new telemedicine that is coming our way, the way of the future. So I do encourage people. It is on the town website under Wellfleet Media. Keep scrolling through and you will get to community forums. And it was most interesting. In the next forum, it's not yet posted, but will be the pre-town meeting on May 4th. It's a Monday. We're trying to get a state of the town in there. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it before town meeting, so it might have to go to when summer residents are here as well and do a joint meeting. But you'll get a gist of the state of the town, I think, through pre-town meeting and town meeting. And I just wanted to make those announcements. Thank you.
Okay, I see Ryan, you have your hand up.
Yes, just for the public, I'm participating remotely. I'm doing a lot better, but I'm still kind of in recovery, and sitting for a very long meeting is more than what I can do right now. So I'm participating remotely. I also think that we need to take a number of items off of our agenda. I don't see how we can be expected to get through it. And with the priority being the town meeting warrant, which this will be our first time reviewing it. And I don't know. I think that should be the focus of our meeting.
Okay, thank you, Ryan.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Josh.
Yeah, just a quick announcement. My next office hours are going to be April 21st from 12 to 1 in second floor Town Hall. Thanks.
Okay, anyone else on the board?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree with Ryan. There is an awful lot on the agenda. So I'm not asking for anything at this time, but maybe a couple times as the meeting progresses, we kind of check in about where we are and, you know, how we can get through the warrant tonight when we're still awake. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think Tom has some observations on that.
Yeah, I was going to just mention it earlier on. There are some transfers that still need to be made to Articles 1, 2, and 3. Some things from the last Finance Committee meeting, there were some changes made. They haven't all been captured by accounting yet. Those will be coming over. So I think we're going to need another meeting on the warrant anyways, but I do think we could cut through quite a bit of it tonight. And when we get to a particular witching hour, we can call it a day and finish it up this week, if it's possible.
All right.
And we're doing the majority.
Or early next week.
People
Yeah.
here, right, ahead of time.
Anyone else on the board? Town administration?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, then I'll open it up for people in the room. Anybody who...
Mr. Chair,
yeah.
if we were to have a meeting, another meeting this week, the earliest it could be would be Thursday night, after 6:07 p.m. Otherwise, it would have to be a Friday. I'm not available on Thursdays, so.
Probably Monday then, because I have medical issues on Friday.
Okay. Well, we can work that out outside the meeting.
Yes.
So I'll open it up to anyone in the room. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Perhaps in that same spirit, I'd like to suggest to you that as you go through the warrant, you seriously consider taking some of the articles that are on there now and moving them to a fall town meeting warrant. When we voted the charter change to go to a 2 annual town meeting system of a spring annual town meeting and a fall annual town meeting, one of the things that we talked about was letting the spring meeting focus primarily on financial issues and then only dealing with those other things that were time sensitive in nature. And taking a look at the warrant the draft warrant as it exists right now, it seems to me that there are at least a couple of things that might be moved to the fall town meeting. I understand petitioned articles have to be on the warrant as they're written. We have to deal with the budget and other financial matters. I'm suggesting that perhaps the charter change can be moved to the fall town meeting. I see Josh, Mr. Yeston shaking your head. Let me suggest to you the rationale for that. A charter change is a 2-part process, and whether we vote on it at this meeting or move it to the fall town meeting, that charter change would not take effect until after the election next year, because it has to be voted on both by town meeting and it has to be ratified by a town election, which follows the town meeting. And it can't be the one which immediately follows. So the earliest that could go into effect would be after next year's annual town election, regardless of whether we vote on it at this town meeting or move it to the fall town meeting. So with all due respect to Mr. Yeston, who I know is in favor of this, and to the members of the Finance Committee, who I know would like to see this enacted, it can be moved to the fall town meeting without changing the time schedule at all of when this would go into effect. So that's one thing that might be moved. I understand that, excuse me, again, that we were hoping to do most bylaw changes. My understanding is that the rental registration bylaw is somewhat time sensitive because that's something that we should have done under state mandates already. So if it's not possible to move that, perhaps that does need to stay on this warrant. But again, as you go through the warrant, my recommendation would be take a hard look at what articles could conceivably be moved to the town meeting in the fall. So thank you for your consideration of that.
Thank you, Dan. Jude?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'm glad that we're all in agreement that this is a lot in this agenda. When I saw the warrant for the first time and tried to compare it with the last select Finance Committee, which was on the 19th, and everyone needs to be reminded that was not recorded, and that was a really important meeting. And in your capital discussions last week, Tom said he'd try to remember, to have the draft minutes. Well, I finally got them today, and there are a lot of numbers that don't match that meeting, and so you explained it. But why do you hold and that capital budget public hearing was embarrassing. When you actually listen to it again, I hope you all do, your comments about how you just threw numbers in there and, it shows. I would give you all a D, okay? I would give you an F, except for the fact that you tried last fall with the charter change. But this is the first time, really, we're able to speak. And I have a lot of questions. Number one being about the salaries. We have warrant articles about salaries. You've asked for them to be individually listed without names, but with positions. I want to know why that's not. Tom explained it's because it's supposedly a bargaining chip in the union negotiations. So that's not acceptable to me. We have to, for affordable housing, we all have to share our salaries. So I don't know what the big secret is. And the names of some of the job descriptions are confusing even to me, and I follow this. What community services is, apparently 2 DPW people got certified to do wastewater. The fact that there is nothing on wastewater, I just don't know what to say about that, except that the $150,000 that's in your budget, I made a public records request to where that's gone for the last 7 years, and the town can't tell me. So I have so many things to say, and 3 minutes isn't nearly enough, so We definitely need another meeting for the warrant, and I hope that you're going to take public comments throughout this meeting. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Thank you, Jude. Anyone else in the room? Okay, seeing none, we'll go online to Kathleen Bacon.
Good evening, Board. I can't find my camera. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for recognizing me. Good evening to the Board. For the public record, Kathleen Bacon. I'd like to speak to you on an item that comes up later on the consent agenda. The use of town property, a request from the Wellfleet Farmers Market to use the grassy strip at Mayo Beach. First, a little back history. This request came to the Select Board in 2018 when the farmers market was behind Preservation Hall. They had outgrown that space, and the vendors and the patrons alike had impacted the parking in the center of town that affected the bank customers and other businesses. The Select Board did not consider Mayo Beach to be a solution. We asked them to look for another location or alternative, hence the Congo Church. The large off-Main Street site in a grassy field proved perfect. The farmers market has been very successful there, albeit there have been parking issues. People pulling in and out on Main Street with little warning. This has caused problems, and last summer there was a police detail used as needed, and the market has a volunteer helping customers navigate the parking area. Putting the market down on Mayo Beach, where parking is already at a premium with multiple entities using it, is a mistake. The rec department has parents dropping off and picking up children. The pickleball, basketball courts, and tennis courts are all getting used in the morning. And it's just an already maxed out situation down there. I would estimate, and I know several of the farmers market people are in the audience. This is nothing personal with them. I know them all. I love them all. But I would estimate that on a given Wednesday during the months of July and August, 300 or so more people are patronizing the farmers market. This does not compare with the foot traffic stopping at the Makers Market on Thursday, which is like comparing apples to oranges. It is an open area that has no windbreak, no protection from the sun. In fact, several times last season, the Makers Market canceled their Thursday setup due to high winds. I would ask the Select Board to cancel this from the consent agenda and postpone it until department heads and our police and safety personnel have had a chance to weigh in. I don't believe it's a good location for the market or the town. And I don't know what the fee is on this for the use of the summer months, if it's $200 or $500. I want you to ask yourself how it impacts everybody else that's using that resource during the summer months, particularly our recreational department, if that's worth the fee. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else online?
Yep, Lauren Acromano.
Oh, okay. Laura, go ahead and identify yourself.
Yes, good evening, Select Board. Once again, I am asking that the Select Board require critical due diligence regarding the Maurice's Planning Committee. Currently, we have no comprehensive traffic study. No traffic study has been conducted for a project of this scale despite its location. And as we all know, Route 6 narrows to 2 lanes, and the congestion and safety issues occur there daily. We still need further investigation and due diligence about wastewater feasibility. Who will all this wastewater infrastructure be serving, and who will be paying for it? And then we still are in a level 2 drought, and as the project advances, it is drawing from a stressed single source aquifer. As we all know, the Nauset Lens serves Wellfleet and Eastham, and it's a limited freshwater resource. Not to mention the issues regarding what happened.
You shut off.
We lost you.
I think we lost you.
I have to put my glasses on now.
Transcript's still running, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's still talking.
PFAS found experience underscore these.
Gabe, what's going on here?
It's not us, it's her.
Oh, it must be on her end.
Lauren,
then.
your microphone isn't working.
Yeah, Lauren. Does the film capture her statement as it's being recorded that way? Okay, so we can read that.
Yep.
All right.
Not for me.
Did it go down here?
No, I have it.
Oh.
You're good.
All right, do we need to suspend?
Nope. I'm still hosting.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm still hosting, so it's still recording.
Well, he said we need to recess.
Yeah, but if they can't get through,
Yeah.
then.
All right, I'm going to call a 5-minute recess to see if we can straighten this out.
Where's this gavel?
I just wanted to make sure the mic's on.
Yeah, it's on.
There you go.
Okay, we're going to go back in session. The whatever the problem was has been addressed, apparently. First, I'd like to reach out to Lauren Arcomano because you were interrupted, even though we did get the transcript. If you would like to finish your statement, you're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you. Not sure where I left off.
I think we got it,
Well, we do have the transcript,
and we did read it.
so it was recorded.
Again, I just want to reiterate, given the scale, permanence, and long-term consequences of this project, I respectfully urge the Select Board to pause the current process, including the warrant article, and commission an independent audit addressing housing needs by income band and residency, existing and planned Outer Cape housing supply, traffic and public safety impacts on Route 6, water and wastewater feasibility under current and projected conditions. Maurice's campground represents a rare opportunity to meet Wellfleet's housing needs responsibly. Proceeding without verified data and basic infrastructure analysis risks irreversible harm to the town's community and natural resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
John, can you mute your phone?
Yeah, I think.
Is my phone not muted? I thought it was.
No, it's not.
Okay, let me see what happened here, because it was.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought I had muted mine. Okay, I do not see anyone else online, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so one more chance, anybody in the room?
Hello there.
Oh, you tip your mic down. So.
Oh,
There you go.
You can hold it.
oh, hello there. That's been a problem my whole life. I I agree with what the woman said. I think we should take this all slow. I feel this project is in everyone's backyard because of the bike trail. It's going to affect us all. My concern is I've been here almost, 45 years in Wellfleet. 3 children all went through Wellfleet Elementary. Now my granddaughter is in blessed Wellfleet Elementary. What a lovely, she's getting a great education, as my kids did, with the one-on-one with the teachers and all the lovely, quaint, beautiful things Wellfleet offers. I don't want to see that change myself. I know we need housing. It definitely needs to be addressed. But also, I worry about the local working families and the aging elderly, including myself, not elderly, but aging, keeping up with the taxes that all these projects are going to cost when you're on Social Security and fixed incomes. That's going to end up driving a lot of, I think, local people away from that have been here and have serviced, which my husband and I like to mention. I've been hairdressing here forever. He's been doing carpentry here forever. We've worked hard. Many people know us from our lines of work. But anyway, and one other thing, the quaintness of the quiet winter for people that work, not myself anymore, but a lot of people that work extra hard hours in the summer. And then to think about that growing into working in the winter or not having that quiet, we could go for a walk on the beach, go here and you're by yourself. That's precious. And the more people, we need people, but we want to take it slow and not overload, because once we do this, I think of it as a marriage with no option for divorce. Once we do it, there's no getting out of it. So we need to really, really think about what we do for the best of everyone here, everyone. The people that need the housing, the people that live here, the people that are young and want to buy here, generational, Wellfleet people. And that's it.
Can I ask you to identify yourself for the
Cindy
record?
Kelb.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, anyone else in the room? Mike? No. Oh,
Just changing that.
thank you. Seeing none, we will then, let me just get out of this, and we will move on to the consent agenda. Before I ask around on the board, I myself would like to remove the Mayo Beach parking item for the farmers market from the agenda for separate discussion. I think it merits it. Anyone else on the board have anything they'd like to remove? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the following items with no objection. The renewal of seasonal alcohol licenses for Red Rentlers, Scully Joe's, Winslow's Tavern, Flying Fish, Max Seafood, Chequesset Yacht, Joe's Yacht Club, Wellfleet Wine and Spirits, Wellfleet Beachcomber, Pearl Restaurant, Bob's Sub and Cone, Billingsgate Market, Wicked Oyster, Wicked Provisions, Harbor Stage, Wellfleet Flea Market, and also the reappointment of Kathy Grzinski, Growinski, to the Cultural Council, the appointment of William Gordon to the Historical Commission, and the approval of use of town property for the annual swim run Cape Cod for a fee of $800.
Second.
Okay, just to note, you left out Max Seafood and the Wellfleet Beachcomber.
No, I didn't. My apologies. Then
Okay, anyway. It's
to
in there.
add Max Seafood and the Wellfleet Beachcomber if I had missed them. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Brian, are you there?
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. So that leaves out the use of town property, Katie Pentademus for the Wellfleet Farmers Market, use of the Sandy Strip at Mayo Beach parking lot from June 3rd, 2026 to September 30, 2026 on Wednesdays for the Wellfleet Farmers Market. I personally share my former colleague Kathleen Bacon's concerns on this. Parking during the summer in that area, that the marina and moving out from the marina is at a premium pretty much all day, every day when the weather's nice. And I'd like to hear my fellow board members' views on this. Barbara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Ms. Bacon said, I believe, that there wasn't sign-off or there wasn't evidence of sign-off from department heads. And I believe in the packet, the form does indicate the sign-offs of health.
So are you ready to talk about?
Wait, Barbara's speaking. Barbara's speaking. Hang on.
She wasn't talking to us. Oh, okay. So we do have sign-offs from Health and Conservation, Police Department, Fire Department, DPW, Beach Department, and then some not applicables. So, we should certainly have a discussion of this, but I just want to point out that the approvals were obtained. Thank you.
If I
Go ahead,
could,
Jill.
the only one that I would feel, since it's not on the pier, is the Recreation Department put an NA, and that is the one department that would be affected.
Yeah,
But
she
she
was
did
out.
comment
Her
today.
comment today was she had no real objections, provided that she was able to have her parent drop off and pick up, not interrupted down there during the recreation hours. Was there anything else, Rebecca? No, I thought that was it.
Okay, even though that parking area is not specifically on the marina, when parking is at a premium at the marina, people do sometimes park over there, and I wondered if the harbor master might have any observations on this.
Or restaurants.
I don't think it'd be overly impactful on the marina. I know there's sometimes some overflow, but generally that's pretty rare.
Okay, all right, thank you. Josh?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't really see why we would object to this. I think it's a tremendously wonderful thing to have a farmer's market in our town.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mayo Beach is a great place to congregate. I think it probably has the most ample parking available in town, and I understand that it's at a premium and it's competitive for a lot of other public uses. However, anytime I see a request for use of town property that benefits the public good, I think you have to have a really good reason to say no. And so I don't see an issue with this, and I vote in favor.
Okay, first of all, what are the hours of the,
7 to 2, I believe it
For the
says.
farmer's market, they get there at 7 and they break down by 2.
by 2 o'clock?
It's 8 to 12 is when they're open
In
to
their
the public.
business, right.
I see, but they'll still need access to get their
Year of-
tables and gear out of there.
They've requested June 3rd to September 30th, every Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I believe that includes setup and breakdown.
Right.
Right.
And I believe we also have some representatives we want to hear from them.
Okay, the other question I have, and maybe she can answer this, is why is it moving from the current location?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Alyssa Staker. I'm the president of the Wellfleet Farmers Market Board. We're moving, parking is an issue, but our primary issue is that the increase in rent. So we're exploring options so it can be something that's sustainable for the organization.
Okay, I have a quick question. Maybe you can answer it, maybe somebody else can. You'll be competing with Mayo Beach parking and rec parking.
Right.
How will that impact compared to the setup now?
Right. I think that it's something that we're willing to work with, leaders and heads of other organizations, the rec, other businesses. So we don't want to, be do a disservice to the town, but it's something that we would be happy to just work with the business owners and other folks in that area for sure. And the other thing with the earlier hours, we figured that might be something that is makes it a little bit more flexible for the people in that area.
Okay. Sheila?
If I can. I would feel really good if you reached out to Becky and talked with her about how you're going to make sure that drop-off and pickup is done safely for people, and what does she see, and maybe you would have a couple of volunteers. It sounded like you had volunteers sort of directing traffic at the church.
Right.
And really kind of get that straight with her so that you both have an understanding of how that will go and what she needs from you to make sure that that's safe, because it's really the children's safety that we're worried about. And
of course.
And also maybe touch base with the bookstore as well and just let them know that, they have parking in the back there, and you'll be out of there before the real swing goes, but
right.
It's nice to touch base with those people, I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be our intention.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, she's answered some of my questions, but I also don't really see, too much of a conflict. Yes, it's busy. No matter where you are in the summer, it's busy. I think having activities happen in our public places is a good thing. I'm willing to, give them this year and see how it goes. In regards to the, bookstore restaurant, if the concern is a private business is utilizing town property and parking, I don't see any difference between that and let's say the farmer's market doing the same.
Can I ask
Right.
another question?
Sure.
Is there going to be a maker's market on another day down there?
Thursdays.
I'm sorry?
Thursdays.
On Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there will be 2 days. My only concern is that you organize it with Becky.
Great. Yeah, we can definitely contact her. Okay, perfect.
Good.
And I think the other thing too is that the amount of people that we do have coming to the farmers market, 300 plus, is usually just in July and August, and it's over the course of 4 hours, so it's not like a full 300 at 11 o'clock, so I think that people are respectful. The customers that come understand that this is a community event, and we can definitely make sure that we are doing our best to keep things safe and orderly.
Okay.
All right. Are there any other questions on the board? I guess I'm ready for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the request for use of town property to Wellfleet Farmers Markets using Center Island in Mayo Beach parking lot from June 3rd to September 30th on Wednesdays, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. For a fee of $1,540? Yeah, $1,540.
I'll
Second.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, I.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Okay, passes 5-0. Congratulations and good luck.
Yes, and good luck. We'll monitor that.
Okay, in that case, we can move on to, we have a post-blizzard debrief. Yeah, Chief Laraco, you can come up to the table.
Come on up here, Chief.
I got a long agenda.
Well, don't get comfortable.
Chief Kevin Laraco, also the Emergency Management Director for the town. We have a small PowerPoint presentation that Rebecca will put up, and then if there's any questions for department heads, they are here, or maybe online if someone's not here. Just briefly, just want to show my gratitude towards all the department heads, DPW, police, staff, the fire department, dispatchers who received over 1,200 phone calls in a short period of time, and town administration. Obviously, Winter Storm Hernando on February 22nd, when it came in. We had a busy weekend planning prior to the storm. After that, we opened up our EOC, which is, for those that don't know, is our Emergency Operations Center at the police station, and that remained open and staffed with myself, deputy chiefs, Chief Capello, and DPW staff 16 hours a day until the town was back to, I don't want to say normal because we're not quite there yet, but
We never were.
at least, with Eversource liaisons until we at least had 98% power back to the town. We sent out messaging throughout the storm, through our Civic Ready, emergency notifications. For those that are not signed up, you can sign up through the website, on the town website, under the banner Emergency Notifications, and you can sign up for that. Currently working with Nate Cochran from MEMA at getting all the reports from individual departments and numbers on costs and damages from the storm in the event that there is a federal reimbursement. We've produced all those reports and turned those over as well. The last thing, just want to say the professionalism and dedication from the emergency management team was truly outstanding, and during the entire event. And Rebecca will go through the slides, and if anyone has any questions, the department heads are here to answer those questions.
Thank you.
Are you narrating, Chief?
I wasn't.
Do I have to?
Well, you said you wanted to.
So the first couple of slides are from the Department of Public Works. We all kind of work together to kind of give you an update of the storm timeline. There were many meetings prior to the actual event. The emergency management team got together and kind of figured out a plan of attack, if you will. The Department of Public Works takeaways: the storm exhibited extreme hazardous conditions, and they needed to be mindful for the future storms in the nature. What happened was they started plowing right away and then realized it was unsafe, so they had to pull all of their DPW guys in until the storm was done. And this caused them not to be able to get everything immediately. This one is just the financial impact that happened to the DPW, snow plowing, tree removal, which they are still working on. I guess the way, they allowed free drop-off for all brush until April 1st, and then they went back to their regular fees. The next one is the police department. They had 296 calls for service within that week, plus or minus 1,200 on their not emergency line. The police department had calls in overtime that totaled over $13,000. The department fuel costs during the blizzard included all fill-ups for the storm, and because the pumps were down due to electrical failure, they had to go to Truro. The pictures actually that are on here are actually Wellfleet pictures. I was able to work on actually the community space and took pictures from the actual storm, so you can see this tree is actually what the wind did. Other costs associated with the storm for the police department included all costs with the exception of gas, totaled almost $350. The fire department, they worked from February 22nd to 26th like everyone else. They had 100% power failure. This slide just gives you the timeline of the storm. February 22nd it began. They had 100% power loss between the 22nd and the 23rd. They opened a warming shelter February 12th to the 27th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., which was volunteered by a few board members, a few staff members, and just people came in and they spoke very highly of that warming station.
Just one other, there were a number of non-municipal employee, non-board members that also volunteered their time at the shelter.
Oh, okay. Chief LaRocco is actually the emergency management, the guy on the top. And then you have the fire chief and the deputy fire chief, the deputy police and lieutenant, the DPW and the DPW assistant director, the town administrator, the assistant town administrator, and myself, Wellfleet IT, and there was an Eversource liaison. This just kind of gives you the breakdown of how it works. And the warming center got popped on in there. The fire department had a total of 80 calls. Within the first 24 hours, they had 34. The types of calls that they received were power lines down, CO alarms, trees down on structures, citizen transfer to collection to points, either the warming station and/or the Nauset Regional School, which then had a kind of an issue there, so they opened Cape Cod Tech and they also opened DY. They did have a confirmed structure fire. These are the problems that the fire department encountered. Overnight sheltering, a lot of people did not want to go to overnight sheltering because they didn't want to leave their homes. I spoke to a few, they were really great when I finally said, you're going to be okay. So one woman was concerned she wouldn't make enough friends, but she went to the shelter and made plenty. The takeaways, the personnel, what went well, all the departments rose to the challenge for this. There were operational, the personnel rotation went well. The call management was okay. Apparatus operations and storm conditions were good. The facilities were great. And that's the rest of your...
That was quick.
Well, we have a lot on the agenda.
Right.
If I could just add, sorry. If I could just add one last piece of info. We did have a debrief, and it was a great meeting between all the players, and I think you learn a lot about when things are going well and things go to plan, that's how it's supposed to work. But when things don't go to plan, that's when your plan gets tested. And I think we learned a lot from this storm. We learned where our weak points are and where we need to improve, but we'll get there. And we learned a lot from this storm, and I think there's a lot of takeaways from what we learned. And what would you say?
Well, one of the things that I noted on my own personal social media page was I was most amazed with citizen helping citizen, not government employee helping somebody, not shelter volunteer helping, and those were all great, but just citizen helping citizen, and that was one of my big takeaways. We do, after every such event, John just picked up, we do a debrief and we look at what went well and what didn't go well. We always highlight the things that didn't go well, so we know how to do it better the next time. But I do want to mention and note, and I think Rebecca has done that, and so has the police chief, a lot of things from the EMD perspective, not the storm and the damage, but from the operational perspective, went very well.
Chief Lawrence?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Joe Capello, the fire department. I just want to put out a special thanks to the staff members that stepped up and helped the warming department. Barbara, John, Rebecca. Rebecca, thank you for doing the PowerPoint. John and Jen Elsenware's son, Sally Welch, and Ann Schiffenhaus. And I especially want to thank my staff because they did a tremendous job. Not only were they there for the warming center, but they were doing the 911 calls as well as the police department. That was a very difficult storm. It was, I don't know if everyone remembers Hurricane Bob. It was Hurricane Bob with a blizzard. So that's pretty much how I can describe it. And one more special thanks is that to my wife, Laura. She also was one of the volunteers that helped out. So I think everyone did a fabulous job with the conditions we had to deal with. So thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to all of you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca, for putting that together.
Okay, and again, thanks to our entire public safety and public works team for a superb example of working together. Moving on to public hearings, item A, the First Congregational Church to be approved for a special event one-day alcohol license. What's that? No, we cannot.
We know that there's a generator needed. They might not be here, John.
You are out of order. Please pipe down. Do we proceed with this?
Yeah.
I think we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
One day, they did it last year.
Yeah, they do it, it's a regular thing.
In that case, I'll take a motion.
You got to open the public hearing, Mr.
Oh,
Chairman.
yes, right, this is a public hearing, my bad. I hereby open the public hearing on the Congregational Church alcohol license. And if there's anyone on the board has any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I plan to attend this event. I'm looking forward to it. There is an application which says it's in the Fellowship Hall. It's their lasagna dinner, and I know they're not here, but I don't see anything nothing jumps out.
Not for me.
It's
To me,
kind
at
of like the
this-
spaghetti dinner.
Correct.
Yeah, only it's lasagna, and it's April 12th, so you have to register if you want.
So,
Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak to this? Seeing none, let me see if there's any hands raised. No, I don't see any. In that case, I will take a motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the first
No,
congregational...
we have to close the public
Oh,
hearing.
I'm sorry. Mr. Chair, I move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move that we approve the First Congregational Church for a one-day special event alcohol license on April 12th, 2026, for a fee of $175.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Passes 5-0. Moving on to Shellfish Business A. To the approval of commercial shellfishing permit hardship exemption for Robert Kellogg per section 6.1.5 hardship exemption.
I didn't see you back there.
Come on up.
Come on up, Robert. I'll pull this chair. Yeah, thanks. Good. Robert, you can come up here.
Oh, you want me there?
Yeah, more comfortable.
You get the hot seat. Okay,
Wait,
are we ready?
wait,
Go ahead.
there's a lot of conversation going on out in the hall. Yeah, could you please?
That'd be good. I'll shut this door.
I don't think we should shut both. We can't really shut both. We can ask.
No, just shut that one back there, it's fine. Thank you. Okay, Nancy?
So tonight we have two shell fishermen who encountered the same type of problem in that the Division of Marine Fisheries was late in getting them in returning their state permit, and therefore they technically were not eligible to get a Wellfleet shell fishing permit, and they are coming to you now requesting that exemption. The state was running behind, and these things do sometimes happen. I don't see a problem with either of these. Bob has had a permit for many years before this, so he's been part of our fleet anyway.
Sure.
So I don't know if.
Does anyone on the board have any questions about this? I don't. Then I guess I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I move to direct the Shellfish Constable to issue a commercial shellfishing permit to Robert Kellogg per section 6.1.5 for a hardship exemption.
I'll second.
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Go. Okay,
All
you're
right,
welcome.
no problem.
Pardon me? Oh, you don't give us anything. That's against the law, you know.
You're all set.
Okay, and then,
You can go. You're free. Yep.
There's another one.
So just come down
It's
tomorrow.
Mr. Kellogg, so the next one.
Ms. Amato?
You're welcome.
So we can just go into
Okay.
shellfish business.
well, then we now have item B on shellfish business. The approval of commercial shellfishing permit hardship exemption for Itel Amato.
Correct. So same thing here, they sent it to the wrong address, and then by the time she got it, it was March, and she had missed the deadline. But she already does crew with her husband on his boat, and adding her permit means that they can double their limit or increase their limit, so it means a lot for her family.
All right. Any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Is it ETEL or ETEL?
It's ETEL.
ETEL, okay.
So
thank
I
you.
was right.
You were right, I was wondering.
Okay. In that case, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to direct the Shellfish Constable to issue a commercial shellfish permit to ETEL Amato per section 6.1.5 hardship exemption.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Right.
welcome.
Good luck out there.
It's a good year.
And moving on to business item A, principal of the Wellfleet Elementary School to review with the board fiscal year 2027 elementary school budget with the select board. Welcome to come on up to the table.
Good evening.
Greetings, Adam.
Greetings, John. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for inviting us, or maybe we invited ourselves here. But just want to share, and I'll turn it over to Superintendent Brand. It's his first round of doing this in Wellfleet, but certainly he's accustomed to doing this in the other Nauset schools and has done so. So I'll turn it over to him, and then if you have specific questions for me, I'll turn it back over to me. But thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Glenn Brand, Superintendent. Privilege and pleasure to be here before you this evening as part of this presentation. I originally came prepared to go through both the region as well as the elementary, but understanding that it's just the elementary tonight, correct? So the slide deck presentation, if we could advance to slide number 15, please. That would be great. Okay, and I should also point out that on the meeting virtually is Paul Donlin. Paul is one of two gentlemen who have been helping out the district during this time of transition within the finance department. As some might be aware, we have been operating since late spring without a full-time dedicated director or assistant director of finance. And so a challenging time for sure, but Paul Donlin, a retired business administrator, as well as Bob Dutch, who has been helping. Bob has been taking more the regional aspect of our operations, and Paul focusing on the elementary. So he's here as well to help in response to any questions that folks may have. Next slide, please. One of the things that I certainly have come to learn in my short time here is the amazing school community that is alive and well across all four communities, and Wellfleet, of course, is no exception. And just so many tremendous activities that I understand why the pride is such that it is for the school here and the elementary school. This slide provides you with a snapshot of enrollment comparisons over the last number of fiscal years and what the projected enrollment is for fiscal year 27. Just as a reminder, this data is captured from the October 1st enrollment reporting to the Department of Education. I'm sure some are aware that October 1st is somewhat of a magical date, at least in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in terms of that's the official data capture for, and that's used for enrollment across the board, and we draw to that. That's where these numbers come from. You can see that right now projected, and it's just that, it's a projection for next year at approximately 76 students. This year, based upon October 1st numbers, and these certainly can and or have changed, it was 82 for Wellfleet Elementary. Next slide, please. This slide gives you a snapshot of enrollment as well as in comparison to the number of teachers. The left-hand side of the slide provides you with a snapshot of the number of teachers that Wellfleet Elementary classroom teachers is operating with, the number of students, and then correspondingly the average class size that you can see. And then rolling that projection over to next year, what we are anticipating as we sit here right now this evening before you. Next slide, please. Budget drivers, there are a number of them that account for the budget increase, and many of these hold true across our elementary schools and our other communities. First off, central office salaries. There is one new position that is advancing its way for consideration before the towns. That's included in the central office budget. When I'm back to talk about the region, I can expand upon that, of course. But that position is a Director of Communications and Engagement. I've got a number of slides that accompany that I would have gone through tonight, but if I may, just hold over that to the next time that I'm here before you. Central office expenses as well. I can certainly speak, though, to this tonight. Last year, as I came to learn, there were a number of expenses that were previously in the region budget that were identified and felt to be most appropriate to reclassify or transfer, if you will, to the central office budget to the elementary schools and all the schools. I'm sorry. There were two: the employer's share of Medicare and Barnstable County retirement, that for whatever reason were not actually reclassified. I think it was simply an oversight. They were previously identified in the respective discussions last year with the school committees, but they were overlooked. They were identified back in the first part of February as those expenses that were thought that we should follow through with that reclassification. This ultimately was approved by the full Joint School Committee a couple of weeks ago. Special education tuition, specifically around pre-kindergarten, is without a doubt a driver here as we look ahead to fiscal year 27. Similarly, out-of-district transportation. These are two costs that when we have these, our smaller budgets, such as Wellfleet and the other elementary schools, when they do occur, they have a magnitude that comes with them, and they're being felt without question in the Wellfleet budget as well as some of the others. And similarly, Special Education Collaborative. We are a member of the collaborative, and sometimes when we have a student whose needs can't be met in district, in this case in Wellfleet Elementary School, there may be a placement that is identified through the special education process. So these are collectively kind of a high overview of the budget drivers for fiscal year 27. Next slide, please. This provides you with an overview of and a breakdown of the various categories that collectively roll up to the overall budget request that's moving forward for fiscal year 27. First, starting in the top left-hand corner, personnel, sitting at a little bit over $1.8 million. I will bring to the attention of the committee that we are going into the third year of a three-year collectively bargained agreement. Next year is the third year, and that has identified an increased cost of living of 3.25%. And as some would know, in addition to that, there are steps and lanes as well, too, that accompany that. Utilities, as part of the fiscal year 27 budget, is a little bit over $148,000. Transportation regular, so think of these as the large yellow buses that crisscross the town and crisscross the region. The share for Wellfleet is a little over $120,000. Special education transportation, that can include both in-district or in Wellfleet, smaller vehicles to transport students with certain needs. It could also include the transportation of students with needs out of district as well, too. Together, those combine to just a little bit under $48,000. Textbooks, materials, and supplies, certainly a necessary component of doing business in the delivery of education, important to help support the great work of educators in Wellfleet Elementary. That is a little bit over $175,000. Top right-hand corner of the slide, special education tuition and pre-kindergarten tuition sits at a little over $312,000 for next year. Repairs and maintenance, those items that have been identified to help continue the operation of the Wellfleet Elementary School, a little bit over $94,000. And then building leadership and central office, That central office, as I've learned, a big and important budget that helps support the operation of all of our schools, all 7 schools across the region. That share is a little bit over $465,000. The total before you as part of the budget plan and proposal is, as mentioned, a little bit over $3.3 million for fiscal year 27. Next slide, please. As a breakdown, a high-level sort of 20,000-foot view breakdown, if you will, what you see here is the elementary expenses for regular day, a comparison between fiscal year 26, this year, of course, and fiscal year 27, with a reduction there as planned right now as we sit here before you. Special education costs, though, you can see there, respectively, some increases there that are certainly significant. The magnitude, again, felt in, this is a smaller budget, but nevertheless an increase, rather, a little bit over $227,000. That comes from some of those items that I mentioned a few moments ago, tuitions out of district placements. The total elementary increase budget for fiscal year 27 from fiscal year 26 currently sits at $216,664, or 6.99% increase. I'll pause there. The rest of the presentation, again, is for the region, but between Principal O'Shea, myself, or Paul Donlin online, happy to take any questions that members of the committee have.
Barbara?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Superintendent, for coming to see us, and to our principal, of course. You said that there is a new position, I think a communications officer, that I think you said was working its way through. Is that position reflected in this budget?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry for any confusion. It is included and
Okay,
has
so
been
that would
approved.
be under, in the 4,000s, right, on that first page, under central.
Central office. It's
Central
included
office,
within the
it's
central
part of-
office budget. That's correct.
And just, what is the process for approving a new position?
Sure.
Can you explain that, please?
I can, yes. Thank you for the question. So a position like this that is, that sits within the central office, similar to my position, similar to any of other central office positions, it first gets presented to a subcommittee that's, whose charge is to oversee the central office budget. There's an actual budget component. It's entitled Central Office Budget. A request like this, which in this year was presented to that subcommittee. That subcommittee consists of school committee members across all of our both elementary schools as well as the region. So there's representation on that subcommittee. That subcommittee then in turn votes to advance a budget forward, in this case the central office budget. It then goes before the joint school committee, which includes membership from all of the school committees, so 30 in total, and then they ultimately approve the central office budget. Their approval this year included the inclusion of that new position that's being proposed.
So there's no sort of discrete process for approving a new position. It's a matter of approving the budget, which includes the new position. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Tom?
I've asked you this before, so it's not catching you by surprise, but the central office budget's about $500,000 to Wellfleet. And the Wellfleet school employees are covered by the town's HR processes, not, we do their deductions, we do their insurances, we do all of that. So what are we getting from the central office? And I don't mean that glibly. I mean, what is provided to the municipalities or to the local school districts through the central office? We do procurement over here on our side for the school. I'm trying to see what this $500,000 buys.
So think of it, I think the most simplified way to think about that is the central office functions and all of the personnel that operate out of that facility. So that includes the superintendent's office, the assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction. That includes the finance department, which we have in this district a number of members that are navigating the complexity of our district. That includes accounts payable. That includes the treasury function. The region is similar to the town, so there's a portion of that as well too, with payroll, and sort of everything in between. So I don't know the exact number of folks off the top of my head, but that is a core component, in addition to their benefits, if they take benefits, in addition to retirement contributions, and everything in between. So that's the core of that function. There's still certainly an intersection between the central office and Wellfleet and Brewster in terms of purchasing, materials and supplies, the exchange of data related to personnel, related to the workforce, related to onboarding. We actively onboard, as I understand it, new employees. So there is a number of discrete tasks that still are operating, even though there's the arrangement that you mentioned.
Thank you. Just wanted that out there so people understood.
Sure.
That's all. Sure.
Anyone else? Josh?
One question. We're on the last page. I'm looking at line item 4225, building security. And it's just one item, it's contracted services, but it dropped 75% year over year. Our actuals from 25 look like it was about $9,000. We're now budgeting about $3,000. What is that contracted service, if you don't mind me asking?
Sorry, what number, account number?
Well, we're at 4225. And the contracted service is 4056. It's building security.
So as far as building security, we did, and it's taking a look at it like, what did we purchase this year? So this year we invested in more cameras around the exterior of our building just for safety, and also added in keyless entry. There's a lot of keys that exist out there, so we're in the process of shifting from a typical key design to a keyless entry with fobs. So that's part of what we're doing this year, just as like a safety precaution. We're also looking at lighting, or excuse me, something within our windows to kind of protect from people looking in, and also just protect from anything that were to strike our windows. So we're looking at that with 3M products. It's not going to stop, anything violent, but it is a deterrent as well.
So what I'm hearing is that in the last few years, we've made more significant investments, and we don't need to make as a significant investment for this future year.
Correct.
Okay. When I saw a drop in 75%, I scratched my head, but that's a very reasonable explanation. Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Ryan, I don't see your hand up, but I thought I'd check with you.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Just an observation.
Sure.
The two largest classes, one of them has graduated, and the current fifth grade class is 21. But after they graduate, we'll probably lose, somewhere around, between 8 to 10 in terms of total student population. It's just getting really small.
I guess I'm ready for a motion then. Oh, no? We don't need
No, just
There's not a motion, it's just a report.
just a presentation.
Okay.
I also want to say, I really like your sweater.
I really like your sweater.
It's my Mr. Rogers look.
Well, thank you very much, and
Really,
thanks
you.
for.
I know it's a
Glenn,
Thank you.
21st maybe, for the region?
I'm sorry?
So 21st, I'm going to be out of state, actually.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to business item B, to approve the extension of work hours for contract number 124020, pavement preservation and related work on Route 6, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and to extend the dates of work from Memorial Day to June 30th, 2026. When we discussed this agenda, I decided that these highway-related items I'm going to open up for public comment at the appropriate time. So, Tom, do you want to go over this? Oh, what's that?
I think there are people here from Lynch to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, so they're going to have to raise their hand.
Okay, I will ask those from Lawrence Lynch to make themselves known. And I will.
Raise their hand because they can't talk.
Okay, yeah, you'll have to raise your hand online.
Hand raised there.
Okay, let me.
A mic.
Okay, Mike.
So there's a couple mics on the call. I'm Mike Zuzovich with Mass DOT, and we've got Mike Norton with Lawrence Lynch on the call.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Why don't you start off?
I'll have Mike Norton because he's the one putting together the request. I don't know if Mike, if you want to talk about it.
We don't see him online.
Is he phoning in?
I believe he's phoning, and he might be having some issues. I can talk about it. So yeah, Lawrence Lynch is requesting to work in the summertime. It's a typical thing we do at Mass DOT. You know, pending town approval, we like to work all the way up until school lets out. Obviously, keeping disruption to the public as minimal as possible. I think they were requesting to work extended hours as well.
Josh?
I see you're asking for Memorial Day to June 30th, and I guess the only apprehension that I have is Memorial Day itself. Do you intend to be working on Memorial Day?
We would have curtailed hours around Memorial Day. So anything that Lawrence Lynch requested around the holidays, we would probably deny ourselves. And we would run those days by the town as well. Obviously, you know, the holiday weekend, you know, we probably wouldn't have any work out there on Thursday, Friday, probably for the Monday as well.
Would it be terribly inconvenient if we moved the start day to the day after Memorial Day?
That would be July 1st.
We're actively working out there, so we would work all the way up until, you know, a couple days before Memorial Day, cease operations, and then start back up after Memorial Day, and then work into June until school lets out. I think that's the request.
Sure.
Yeah, it's.
We're also looking.
Josh to work to Memorial Day. They're asking to extend it from.
I understand. I understand. Thank you.
And I think we did this last year. They needed a,
Right.
so that they could get more work done. I'm sorry.
Barbara?
Yeah, through the chair. I mean, I know we have approved this sort of request before, but we've also denied it before. So I guess, is there a place to sort of ask about the schedule and why there is a need to do the work now? You know, whether this could have been anticipated before. Thank you.
So obviously with having the summer shutdown on Cape, you know, there's a benefit of working into June. Obviously favorable weather conditions, favorable temperatures. It also allows the job to speed up and hopefully finish a little bit early.
Tom, you had raised, or somebody did when we were talking about this the other day.
That was a different part of the project.
Oh, okay.
But my only concern, and it's up to the select board certainly, is that school gets out around the 18th. Is that correct?
The 18th is, or 19th is Juneteenth.
Okay.
So we typically request to work, you know, up until school lets out. So if we want to, you know, limit work after that up until Labor Day, that's typically what we allow at Mass DOT
Yeah.
and typically what we propose.
I expect there will probably be some snow days that have to be built into this. So my recommendation wasn't to go to the 30th, but was to go to the 23rd. The 30th is really getting on 4th of July week.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Lawrence Lynch put that together as a request, but I'm on board with that date as well.
All right. Does anyone else on the board have any questions? Ryan?
Right.
Did I see your hand up? No.
Okay.
In that case, does anyone in the room have any observations or comments?
Remember, there are two things tonight on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tim Sayre. When I sat on this board, there was also three of you with me, and they came before the board and explained to us what the time difference would be between allowing them to work during this time and not allow them to work during this time. 2 years ago, you denied them the right to work. Last year, you gave them the right, and I believe they were off the street on the 23rd, not exactly positive on that date, which would hit about the same date that Tom's talking about, the 22nd, 23rd of June. Allowing them to work during this time didn't seem to increase any problems on the road. And we, the royal we, meaning, the three that were on there plus myself, had agreed that we would allow them to work during this time. So I would ask you to please allow this work to go forward. They didn't work on the intersection of Main Street and Route 6 last year. They pulled that back, and I don't know why. This year it's on there, but currently we're not talking about that one yet. But for this portion, I would suggest they allow them to work, because the sooner they get done, the sooner we don't have a problem on the road. Thank you.
Okay, I'm inclined to agree with that myself. Anyone else?
I don't have a problem.
Okay, anyone online? Let's see. You don't? Okay. In that case, I am ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair, now, are we going to go to June 30th?
My recommendation to the board is the 23rd. It's up to the
23rd.
board.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Lawrence Lynch to change their work hours for the intersection improvements and related road work on Route 6 from 6 a.m., am I correct?
Yep.
Yep, 6 a.m.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and to extend the dates from Memorial Day to June 23rd for contract number 122609.
No, you skipped ahead.
It's 124 of, there's two. The first one is the contract number 1240.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. I was looking right at the proposed. So I approve the extension of work hours for contract, no, it's the same number it says here. I'm looking at something.
You're looking at item C.
124020.
That's item B, and then item C is 122609.
We have two projects going on currently in Wellfleet,
All right.
122609 and 124020, I believe.
So, Mr. Chairman, I do have a question.
Yes.
Because I thought we were working on the intersection improvement piece, but we're not. We're working on the paving piece. Why can't this paving be done from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
I think it can be.
Like
just
it's
that I'm
done all
looking
over
at-
495 and 25 and Route 2 and...
I think Lawrence Lynch was looking to request additional hours beyond just paving. There was some discussions about paving at night, which I know we've kind of talked about at biweekly meetings with the Wellfleet DPW. So that is a possibility.
Yeah, because this one just says pavement preservation and related work.
On Route 6.
Correct. It's
On Route
correct.
6.
It's more than just paving. Yep, correct.
Well, okay. Thank you.
So, Thomas, so if your suggestion would be, instead of doing it during the day, do it 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Right, but there is more to the work than just paving, so they're probably going to need daylight and things like that and other equipment that they can't get up there at night.
So I have the right motion here for item B with
Okay.
the right number. So I move to approve the Lawrence Lynch to change their work hours for the pavement preservation and related work on Route 6 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and to extend the dates to go from Memorial Day to June 23rd for contract 124020.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
For discussion,
Yes.
I would be fine going to the 30th. There wasn't any issues last year. And if that gets project done a little bit sooner, I think that's something everybody would appreciate.
We stopped him on the 23rd last year, yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. 23rd's fine then.
Okay.
So Mike Norton with Lawrence Lynch is on the call. I think you guys have him muted. I don't know if someone could unmute him.
We don't,
Mike Lynch.
Yeah, he might be able to elaborate more on what he wants to do as far as daytime and nighttime
okay,
operations.
we need to know his phone number, please, because he's not showing up by name.
The last four of the phone number are 9757. I don't know if
Okay.
that helps.
He has to unmute himself.
I know we can hear you guys.
We have a motion
So-
on the floor. I think we can.
I think we're okay, but,
Well, I think we can take a vote on the motion,
I agree.
and then
okay.
if you can sort out his phone issue, that would be great. But roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Hello, can
Barbara,
you hear me?
aye.
We can hear you now, Mike. Yep.
We're in the middle of a vote.
Oh, finally, okay. Thank you.
Sheila,
All right.
aye.
Yeah, Mike Norton from Lawrence Lynch.
Hold
here.
on,
Can you hear me?
hold on,
Wait,
Mike.
1 second.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm
Josh,
sorry.
aye.
And John.
John, aye.
Okay,
Is that
so
all
let's,
five
now
of
we
us?
can hear it, yes.
Okay, all right, passes 5-0.
Well,
Okay,
let's
go
hear-
ahead.
So, just so Mr. Norton's
Okay.
aware, the board just voted to extend the hours from 6 to 6 from May 30, from Memorial Day to June 23rd.
Okay, yeah, actually, I heard all this, but I couldn't speak. But that's fine. That's basically just a week before our request.
Yeah.
A week sooner, which is fine.
Okay, so now we got the paving one.
Were there details that we wanted?
Well,
They have all that set up.
Okay.
They
No,
got
I think he was going to address the nighttime work,
Yeah, that's,
the possibility of night.
It's
well,
not gonna
no,
happen.
no, we
There isn't,
just
there
voted
isn't a
that, so.
possibility.
All right,
Yeah, we can't do that work at nighttime due to safety issues with the wires, and it's
Yeah,
an
it's
issue with the
fine.
asphalt plant.
It's all good.
I'm sorry?
You're all good for
Yeah,
daytime.
Okay.
We have approved it.
okay.
Are there any questions on the next motion
Yeah.
while we have this man on the line?
Well, let's move to item C. To approve the extension of work hours for contract number 122609, intersection improvements and related work at Route 6 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and to extend the dates of work from Memorial Day to June 30th, 2026.
June 23rd.
Well, it says here June 30th, so
I know.
we'll have to discuss that. Barbara?
Through the chair, does the intersection, does that include Route 6 in Maine?
Well, that's the intersection of Route 6 and Main Street, is that?
Right.
Okay, just to be clear, because it says intersection, so that could be a number of
Could be
places
anywhere
on Route 6, so.
Yeah, it actually ties in with the long job, the first job you were talking about. The intersection
Okay.
itself, and extends probably a half mile north to Lawrence Road.
Okay.
That 6 to 6 schedule is basically only requested for just major milling and paving operations. It would not be extended as long as the request for the surface course paving on the first job we talked about.
Mhm.
All the rest of the work would be 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, that's even better.
All right.
But we're going to allow it.
So then, through the chair, so then would we be, is the request to work from 7 a.m. to 3:30 rather than what's proposed in the motion, which is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.?
No, the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is requested for major operations.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So that just gives them permission to
Most-
do it as they need.
Yeah, and they get
Okay,
their stuff here.
I'm just comparing the letter that we have on this item with the motion, just to understand what we're voting for. Thank you.
Okay, and would the same dates apply?
My recommendation would also be the 23rd.
To the 23rd.
Okay.
That works, Mr. Lynch, Mr. Norton.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
okay.
I guess we're ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve Lawrence Lynch to change their work hours for the intersection improvements and related work on Route 6 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and to extend the dates from Memorial Day to June 23rd for contract 122609.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Thank you. It's nice to have the roads.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Sorry I couldn't speak earlier. Thank you.
We now move on to business item D, presentation by the Climate Action Committee to present to the board an amendment to the town's fuel efficiency policy and decarbonization roadmap.
Mr. Chairman, just as a setup, if I could, please.
Sure.
The Climate Action Committee was here right after I started, just a few months after I started back in 24, the spring or summer of 24. And the Leaders Program was kind of brand new at the time, or at least new to the town. The Select Board, because the town, the Select Board opted not to participate because for a couple of reasons. And one, we were concerned about the vehicle piece. There wasn't really any track record of the Climate Leader Program. They were just rolling out new pieces of it, and the idea was the board had said, no, we want to see what's going on with this. I signed off on a paper to let folks continue to study and get information about it, but any further determinations if we move forward with this project or not is that of the Select Board. So that's just the setup, maybe a little history. Ryan, did I get that history right?
Kind of, but I was going to say that this isn't really time sensitive. We could put this off to our next meeting in 2 weeks and then work on the warrant tonight. There's both that, and then there's the decarbonization roadmap that's included in the packet as well. They're both pretty substantial discussions, and I think we should be focusing on the warrant.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Or is she on the committee?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, come on up.
I'm Patty Taylor on the Energy and Climate Action Committee, and it is very time sensitive, sadly, for us, because there's a deadline at the end of June that we would be going toward, and you'll hear a lot about it from our chair. So in order to do things with the Select Board's approval, we need to present to you, then we need to come to another meeting to get you to vote. Then there's a second thing. The roadmap is a whole nother thing that we would bring to you in May, present to you and get voted. There's time to do amendments and get feedback and change things, but we would need the time to go toward that June deadline. So it does seem a little time sensitive to us.
Yeah, I think the first thing we need to do this evening, or added whatever pursuant to Ryan's comments, is to hear kind of a global review of what this does. Again, it's kind of a rehash of what we did a year and a half ago. And then get into a little bit of the specifics relative to the fuel use. But the board really has to make a determination as to whether this is a policy we want to move forward with. And that's what the last year and a half was, kind of information gathering to bring it back to the board. So that's where I think we should start.
Yeah. Barbara?
Yeah, through the chair, I mean, I think we can and should spend some time on it tonight. Let's see where it goes. I would just ask through the chair for the folks to identify themselves and whether they're chair, vice chair, whatever they are, because I see other committee members here. So if we can do that, thank you.
And I am concerned about the time factor, so if we can, I don't want to not do this tonight because they did take the time out to come here.
I agree. I agree.
So without further ado.
Right.
I'm Steve Burke. I'm the chair of the Energy Committee, and this is Richard Emmett. He's the vice chair of the committee.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
So I'm just going to start out with what I prepared to say, and we can go from there. So the Energy Committee is coming before you tonight to start placing the last two pieces of the puzzle to apply for the state DOER Climate Leader Communities certification. There are 6 requirements to apply for the CLC certification, and the last 2 are to create the decarbonization roadmap and to update our town's vehicle policy. And tonight we had planned on talking about the vehicle policy. Just a brief history. Back in 2008, the state enacted the Green Communities Act, enabling cities and towns to reduce energy costs and emissions. Wellfleet became a green community in 2014 and has received almost $600,000 through 4 grants since that time. In 2025, the Climate Leader Communities program evolved from the Green Communities program to meet the more robust goals of new state energy policy. Where federal support and money has been reduced, the Commonwealth has stepped up and is currently offering a little over $52 million to Climate Leader communities. Today, there are 35 Climate Leader communities across the Commonwealth, and locally, both Truro and Eastham are climate leaders. Wellfleet has already committed to a climate policy. The policy adopted at 2020's annual town meeting instructs the town to reduce net greenhouse gas emissions from human activity to 0 by no later than 2050. Decarbonizing our municipal operations is key to fulfilling this goal, and the tools and funding offered through the DOER will help us do it. With awards of up to $1 million, towns are able to work on larger projects to make a bigger dent in their decarbonization efforts. The item on tonight's agenda is about a small revision to the fuel efficient vehicles policy written in 2014 and revised in 2021. The current policy states that we will consider EVs or low-emission vehicles when we purchase a new vehicle for the town of Wellfleet. The revision we're offering is to consider zero-emission vehicles first, ahead of all other types.
Sheila?
Okay, so what we're going for is this designation, and that designation then allows you to go for those grants to provide these vehicles or the infrastructure necessary for the vehicle, such if it's a totally electric car, we need electric hookup and that sort of thing. So it's not that we're passing to, or it's not that we're looking at this to buy those right now, but we're making a commitment that we're supporting the effort to become a leader, energy leader community. Is that the right term?
Climate leader.
Climate leader community.
Climate leader community. And then hopefully if we get that, then we'll be talking about purchasing it when possible or where possible.
Sheila, I think it's important to note that those grants, that $52.5 million that the DOER is set aside for climate leader communities, it's not just for the fuel efficient vehicle, for the vehicles. The policy is approving this slight revision in the existing policy is simply one of the 6 boxes we need to check to be accepted as a climate leader community. And that's all about protecting Wellfleet's access to our share of these funds.
Right.
It's $52.5 million total over 3 years.
Right.
When that money's gone, that money's going to be gone. And it can be used for any number of things, but most importantly, for the large municipal decarbonization HVAC projects that we're looking ahead to try and get Wellfleet from where we are now to 0 net municipal emissions by 2050. There's going to be a lot of money that's going to need to be spent to do that at some point between now and then. There's help available now. It's $1 million per community. and it's first come, first serve. As of right now, it's, as Tom says, it's a relatively new program, but some time has gone by. There's been a lot of Massachusetts municipalities that have successfully been certified as climate leader communities. By current count, there's 35 of them. So think, if each one of those communities is already in the works to get their $1 million, we got to get in line. There's a June 30th deadline for us to do that. So this really is very time sensitive.
Through the, no, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, after.
Go ahead,
This
Tom.
$52 million is an allotment for a year, 52 a year, or 52
No,
over 3 years?
It's 52 and a half.
Over 3 years.
For these accelerated grants over 3 years.
So it's about $17 million a year.
Well, it's first come, first serve.
Right.
And I imagine it's gonna be all used up well before the 3 years is up.
Yeah, I agree. My
Yeah.
point, to further that point, is if we have $1 million roughly, okay,
Yeah.
it's $17 million a year statewide, first come, first serve, or most competitive first serve. That leaves about $1 million per county. When they start divvying up the money, they will look at applications and they will look at regional, making sure that they're regionally distributed. Thank you, I was gonna say. So we gotta look at that too. So we gotta, if the board agrees to go along with this, when we put an application together, it's gotta be.
Truro is already certified, Tom.
Yeah.
Eastham is already certified, and they've got their projects in the works. So
Yeah, this is just something the board has to make a determination.
no, absolutely. We think it's critically important that the town of Wellfleet do this. I'd love to do it with, $1 million extra bucks of state of Massachusetts help. That'd be a beautiful thing. The June deadline is very real. If we don't apply by then, some other town's going to get that money. So what do we need to do in order to apply? There's, as Steve says, there's 6 boxes that need to be checked. 4 of them are already checked. No problem. The 2 remaining boxes are, we need to slightly revise our vehicle policy to get current with the DOER's current suggested language. It's a very minor change. We can talk about what that is exactly. But, I see that more than anything as sort of a box to check. The final thing is to have this decarbonization roadmap completed, which is something that's being worked on now with the help of a team of DOER consultants that Tom and I applied for a grant a year or so ago to get the funding to pay for the consultant to help us put this roadmap together. The roadmap is simply an action plan. How do we get, carbon-free by 2050 sounds great, but how do we get from here to there? What exactly needs to be done? What buildings need, what projects, and when is that likely to happen? The consultant is helping us put together a Wellfleet specific game plan. That's what the decarbonization roadmap is. Completing that, which we can do, we are on draft 3 or draft 4. We're planning to bring that to you guys to approve next month. That's a box we can check. This vehicle policy is a box we can check, and we can go get our money. And that's the story as I see it, at least. Excuse me.
Josh?
I think,
Barbara?
Thank you, I appreciate that. So looking at the policy, there's not a red line version, so I'm not sure exactly what's changing, but I think the key phrase here is commercially available and practicable. So it states several times in the policy, all departments shall purchase only fuel-efficient, hybrid, or zero-emission vehicles for municipal use whenever such vehicles are commercially available and practicable. So who makes that determination?
Town of Wellfleet.
But So that, would that be town administrator, DPW? How, what you see what I mean? This sounds good to me, but I just want to make sure that it's something that's kind of within our control, that
Right.
if the town
Well,
administrator
I'm sorry, Barbara, I didn't mean
and
to
department heads say, we looked, but they aren't available, or we'd like to do this, but it's costs, twice as much, whatever it is. I just want to feel confident that that is up to the town of Wellfleet.
Barbara, that language, that commercially available and practicable,
Yes.
it's not a new concept here.
Okay.
The 2014 policy that we voted on to put in place, or that you guys voted on to put in place back then, says virtually the same thing. Let me quote from that old policy. The vehicle policy, this is the old one, requires Wellfleet to purchase only fuel-efficient, hybrid electric, or zero-emissions vehicles whenever such vehicles are commercially available and practicable.
Okay, that's great.
So,
That's great. So, Tom, you're comfortable with, through the chair, Tom, you're comfortable with that language, and John?
I'm comfortable to the point of the day we make a decision and the
Okay.
state determines that they didn't like the decision we made.
Okay. So can you just tell us if that's existing language and we've signed off on it, and that's great, what is it that's new in here that you're asking us to sign off on?
Right. What I just read was the guts of the old policy.
Yep. Right.
That we have committed already to purchase only fuel-efficient hybrid vehicles or zero-emissions vehicles whenever they're commercially available and practicable. The new policy keeps that protective language about commercially available and practicable. It even adds a little more protective language even than the current policy. But the only substantive change is it introduces a hierarchy, a purchase hierarchy. So let's see, I'm going to the third, I have copies of this here.
We have it.
We sent it out ahead of
We have it,
time.
we have it. Yeah, it's not a.
Pagination with a little.
Yeah, it's fragmented in the packet.
Okay, so the underlined is the new language. Okay.
The underline was sort of, my
You're
cut
right.
at what a red line would be.
Sorry, you're correct, and I'm sorry I didn't pick up on that. So I see.
Vehicle procurement should be prioritized. This is the new language as follows. One, battery electric vehicle, that's BEVs, full EVs. And then if they're not available, commercially available or practicable for whatever reason, we don't have charging station infrastructure that's sufficient to really make it work for Wellfleet. For me, that's a practicable issue, right? That's something, Tom, you and I have talked about this, that's something that we've got to get on and address to make these things really practicable. So BEVs first, and then second in the hierarchy is plug-in hybrid vehicles, and then regular old hybrid vehicles, and only if no electric vehicles at all are practicable, then we go to the internal combustion engine.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
It's also important to note that this policy, as the new policy, as well as the old one, applies only to light-duty vehicles.
Got it.
No heavy-duty vehicles.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, and I'm sorry I didn't pick up that was the new language. So this makes sense to me. I support this. I support the change and getting it done now, so we're in a position to apply for the funding before. Right.
Josh?
So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. How many vehicles are we talking about? In the current fleet and Wellfleet, how many would turn over to being BEVs?
I don't think there's that many. I don't have the numbers actually are discussed in the draft of the roadmap that I believe we shared with you guys. Working from memory, it might be, 14 light-duty vehicles or so. Most of the vehicles wouldn't be applied here, wouldn't be in play here because they're heavy-duty vehicles.
And how many pieces of charging infrastructure would we need for those vehicles?
The
The follow-up is where are we going to put them?
We would want to put some charging stations in for the fleet vehicles. Tom, at one point, you and I had a proposal that we were kicking around that would put some charging stations. This is with Massachusetts state funding that would put some charging stations for public use in public places. But we'd also want to put one or two fire station, police station downtown. I mean, Tom, you and Jay tell us where we need them. I would love to work with you guys to get a proposal together for charging stations. There used to be a bunch of federal help that's now gone away, but there's still help from the state of Massachusetts, and there's still help from Eversource, I believe. We'd have to look into what's currently available, but we had a pretty nice package that we could have gone for a year or so ago that was essentially no cost to us, that would have gotten us, a real leg up in the charging station situation.
So here's my honest concern.
Yeah.
The capital expenditure to really put this plan into action is going to be significant. And I'm not confident that a competitive grant process that is already being chipped away at is going to be available to us. And so if we implement this policy without, at least for me personally, fully understanding what is the scale that this will be implemented at, is it 14 vehicles, is it 20 vehicles? Okay.
So,
Well, please allow me to finish.
Yeah, please help back us up, Patty.
So point being is that I think for me to be comfortable adopting this policy, which I agree with my colleagues makes a lot of sense, I'd like to understand what the financial application is going to look like in the worst case scenario, given the capital investment this town needs to make with wastewater, what we need to make with the marina. Right. We have a tremendous amount of capital investments that need to be made. I appreciate that Wellfleet is carbon emitter, right? It's about 667 metric tons of CO2, which sounds like a big number, but it's not an enormous number. I think for communities like Cambridge, that is already a community climate leader, it makes a lot of sense, right? But they're going to be asking for a tremendous number of grants to decarbonize. And so my question is the impact to the town going to have the same impact to the environment, or is it going to be a lopsided deal? That's where I'm hung up a little bit, if I'm being honest.
If the charging station situation can't be resolved without being fiscally harmful to the town, that to me goes straight to practicability. I think I know for a fact the DOER is very anxious for us to apply to be climate leader communities. These guys are not going to be sending, the charging police after us to check up to see, how many vehicles we're buying or not being. What they're looking to Wellfleet to do is to put up our hands and say, we affirm our commitment as a town to move towards zero emissions by 2050, and we're going to do our best to get there. We're going to work with you on this, and that's all they're looking for. They're anxious for us to do this. They're anxious to give us the money. They're anxious to get whatever charging stations we can, to buy whatever EVs that make sense for us, but they're not going to require us to do anything stupid or uneconomic.
Do you want me to?
Please, yes, thank you.
I'm just reading from the draft of the roadmap, and really, you shouldn't look at what you have now for the roadmap, because it is being fixed. But it says, the plan identified 13 on-road vehicles out of Wellfleet's 35 on-road vehicle fleet that have cost-effective EV options available in the next 15 years, 2023 to 38. So it's all at the discretion of, people choosing, not us, but you all.
And as far as timing goes, no one's going to expect us to junk vehicles that are perfectly good now. They incorporate the concept of trigger events. So, when vehicles wear out and we replace them in the normal course of business, all they're asking us to do is look to see if it makes sense to do it with a BEV, and if it does, great, we should do it. And if it doesn't, we'll look at a hybrid. And if that's not practicable, then, we'll buy whatever we really need to get the job done.
Right.
Ryan, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, if this is a policy that we want to look at, we would apply the policy on policies to it, which refers it out to the department heads and others for their comments. When this came to us last year, the department heads were pretty unanimous in not supporting it. The light-duty vehicles of our fleet are they're the police cruisers, a couple of vehicles with the fire department, like the fire chief's vehicle, the shellfish trucks, and a couple of DPW trucks, the smaller ones. And then other than that, there's really just the car that's used by conservation and the health department to do inspections, and they only need one tank of gas every 2 months. So, most of those vehicles we need to function in the absence of power. We just, on the same agenda had a presentation where, we were 100% without power just about everywhere. You would either have to install generating capacity for these vehicles, or they wouldn't be able to function in a case where there's power outages, and also they take longer to charge. If we're doing a level 1 charger, which is the most basic, cheapest, that takes typically 2 days to charge, if not more. A level 2 will get you there. You need to do special installations for those. A level 3 charger is the fastest. I've had a lot of discussions with DPW directors in other towns on the Cape, and they're actually having an issue where they are trying to install them, but the power company is telling them that the grid can't handle it for a given area. This is why, let's say, a lot of Tesla chargers are famous for being at dead malls. Because they have a robust power supply that they're able to, function off of. But if we're looking to pursue this, I would just want to refer it out as called for in the policy on policies. But we really do need to get to the warrant tonight as well.
Okay. May I just make a point? Suzanne Ryan, Energy and Climate Action Committee. Just want to point out that this expands, we have to look at the big picture of 2050. Mm-hmm. And the technology is going to change. So don't just look at this moment, please. Please look at the big picture, because that's where we're going.
Ryan's points, I think, are very well taken. Now, nobody's saying that EVs are perfect for all of our uses. I imagine that once Tom and his team, look hard at the procurement situation, that the number of EVs that we deem practicable to buy, like right now, is probably not going to be a large number. I'd be very surprised if it were 13 right away. But this is not about whether we're going to buy EVs or not, or how soon we're going to buy them. What this is about is us committing to the DOER that we'll try. And if we commit that we'll try, then we check that box and we have a shot at that $1 million.
Okay, I have a couple of comments. One goes to what Ms. Ryan just pointed out, and that goes to the development of technology as time goes on. They're experimenting now with solid-state batteries, which address concerns I have with the current technology, with the lithium batteries, and the environmental impact that both the manufacture and the disposal of those batteries have, as well as their capacity and their speed with which they can recharge. This is pretty far off in the future, which I think is something that bears consideration. Another consideration that we need to keep in mind is what happens when these vehicles experience service problems. Currently, getting an electric vehicle serviced on the Cape is, as I understand it, next to impossible, especially a heavier duty vehicle. That's something that's going to undoubtedly change over time, but currently we have to consider that. Now, this is a matter of checking a box so that we can get money to look at this farther down in the future. I'm all for it. But I want to be very wary of making any kind of a commitment to act when we are faced, as our town administrator pointed out, with critical infrastructure issues at the marina, which is a central economic engine in this town. Other infrastructure issues that have been left to ride for a long time that we're now trying to address. So with that, Barbara?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Sheila had her hand up.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I did before you did.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, I feel like we're having a conversation that Wellfleet usually has where we overthink something and say no to it. And, you know, this is a matter of making a commitment that we're going to try. And if we have to say, okay, we have to replace this vehicle, but there's no way we can afford these other expenses, that's what we have to say. But what we have to do is somewhere between now and 2050, do that. And I think, you know, as you say, times change, technology changes, it may be more doable 10 years from now. What we're doing is committing that we are going to try. And by doing so, we also open up the opportunity for grants in other places that we vitally need help on, like HVAC for our buildings. We've already gotten grants that have helped with those things. So I think this is almost a no-brainer, and it's not like we're voting or once we do have to have a vote saying we're going to buy a vehicle this year. That's not what we're doing. What we're saying is we will consider these vehicles first, and if it doesn't fit the budget, and, you know, it won't be able to do this for another 5 years, that's what we say to them, and I don't think there's going to be, you know, big stick coming beating us. So,
Barbara?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think it was good we spent some time on this tonight, but I'm glad Ryan raised the policy on policies, which does not allow us to vote on the first night something's introduced. We have to hear it at least one more time. So I would suggest this is an appropriate time to move on to the warrant and for, you know, further discussion to take place at the next meeting that the chair and the town administration can organize.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair?
Ryan, you got your hand up?
Yeah, so I'd actually make a motion to refer it as called for in the policy on
Sure.
policies.
I'd second, yep.
And, you know, we can, you know, stop debating it for tonight, and get on to the warrant. But, you know, that it has a schedule for adoption, and as part of that, it needs to be referred out for comment.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
I move to direct the town administrator to distribute the draft zero emissions first vehicle policy as called for under the policy on policy.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, or is there any
I have one other question. Is this going to, are we going to be able to have that all back in time
We'll have
for
it
them
back
to
for the
submit
meeting
this?
on the 21st.
Okay, as long as it's done so that you can, okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
we have enough time to do it, Sheila, but we.
Okay, all right, I know, I agree, okay.
And I think we have a better understanding now of what we're being asked to do.
Right,
so.
it's not as
That'd
frightening,
be
I don't
great.
think, as
Thank you.
everybody
Yeah.
thinks it is.
We
That's why I
appreciate
was
so much you
asking.
taking the time to listen.
No, it's good.
Did we vote yet?
And thank you.
No, we did not. We need a roll call vote on this.
I seconded it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so now moving on to item E.
Mr. Chairman?
I just want to let you know that in your warrant, the articles are numbered, but I know that they usually get changed around. So in the motions, I just have them as the article titled, and if you just read what the title is, I can have your votes on it, and if it does, and when it does get changed, you won't have to worry about the numbers.
Oh,
I know
okay.
that, I also told that to Ryan earlier.
I'm going to call
Yeah,
a
that's common.
5-minute recess. I've got to take it.
Yeah, okay.
I think maybe more than one of us does.
Is the mic on?
1, 2. Yeah, there we go. All right, Select Board's back in session. And we're up to item E, the review and vote to insert and recommend the annual spring town meeting warrant articles. And Tom, do you want to start this off?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this has been up to council twice. It'll go up one more time. As I noted to you earlier this evening, we have some transfers from the last Finance Committee to make that the accountant has to finalize in Articles 1, 2, and 3.
So we're going to skip those for now?
Well, you can look at them, but the numbers in the motions will change between now and probably almost town meeting, like they do every year.
Okay.
So are you recommending we should skip those?
Yeah, we're going to have another meeting.
I think we should insert them. I mean,
What's that?
the numbers change right up until an hour before town
Right.
meeting. There's never, until then, there's never a final. Some years is better than others, but we can insert, the operating budget, prior year invoices, and the capital budget, with the understanding that there will be changes as we get closer.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
then let's get started
Yeah,
then.
so, Mr. Chairman, I move to insert Article 1 operating budget in the warrant.
Second.
Roll call, and we're going to hold off on recommending, or?
Yeah, hold off on this is just to insert.
Roll call vote?
You don't want that?
I'm muted. Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Passes 5-0. Article 2, prior year invoices.
After Article 1, we shouldn't use numbers. Article 1's dictated by the charter.
Right.
So
Okay.
all the ones from here on, just use the name of the article.
Sure.
That's right, I stand corrected. Okay, prior year invoices.
Mr. Chair, I move that we insert the prior fiscal year 2026 prior year invoices to the warrant.
Second,
Roll call vote?
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0. Go ahead. Although I'll allow this, but I'm not going to take public comment because that can be done at the meeting.
So you're not going to take public comment on anything going into the warrant?
No.
Is that right? Okay. So, and all these numbers change up until the town meeting?
Yeah.
So why do we go through this as participants, the public? We have not been able to speak hardly at all. I have so many questions, and you just approved the operating budget. that none of the
No.
numbers
No,
match?
we didn't.
Or you,
No, we
you,
didn't.
appro- no, to put it on, but the numbers change, and when are we going to talk about it? I
At
guess
town meeting. That's what town meeting
Okay,
is for.
so we can pick apart the operating budget at town meeting? Is that what you want us to
Yes.
do? Okay.
That's what town
Really?
meeting is
Okay,
about.
and are we going to have the salaries done? Are we going to get a yes or no from you about that?
Yeah.
Come on. Are we going to get the salaries as you asked, yes or no?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, that's important. Thank you.
They're in the back of every town report as well.
Oh, that comes out a year later that's about this big and I can't read?
This is the end of public
I
comment
just-
on this.
When you have warrants with open figures
We are
about
done.
salaries
We are
that are our
done.
biggest budget item, okay, thank you all. This is what I'm talking about. No public participation. We'll bring it to town meeting.
You've had your last warning. You will be asked to leave.
You'll hear me so much at town meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Well,
if I
that'll
may-
be up to the town moderator to determine. Okay.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Just for the public, so typically the moderator goes through the operating budget and asks if any individual lines, if there's anybody that has questions or would like to debate on them. Sometimes a lot of times there's nobody that does, but sometimes there are line items that people do have questions about.
Yes, they do.
And, they are the legislative body and they have the right to ask those questions and debate them. And I think our moderator is very conscious of that, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I may add, we are going to have a pre-town meeting on the 4th, so some of those questions can be answered and addressed then.
That's true, too. Very good. So let's not waste any more time.
Article 3.
I have
Mr.
a question for
Yes.
the administrator, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
So one of the comments from council is the docks and pilings from the storm, because it requires a debt exclusion. It would make the entire article subject to a 2/3 majority. And they suggested that, to consider if we wanted to or not, to have the borrow as a separate article, so that the rest of the capital budget would be a majority or not. I don't have a strong feeling on it one way or the other, but I would like to know what the administrator thinks and also what the board.
Well, I don't know where we're going for a ballot question on the marina this year.
It says borrow, it says free cash.
Docks and pilings, it says free cash and borrow.
Okay, yep, it's borrowed, yep.
So
By
just through,
including the borrow, this whole article will require a 2/3 vote. You may wish to break this out separately, and it would also, if it's a debt exclusion, it will require a ballot.
so just through the chair, can someone point me to where town council's comments are?
Yes, you have town council's comments. I put it in front of you, each in front of you is separate.
Oh, it's this other
I
version.
printed it
It's
out
this-
for you, just so you've got
But the
it.
comments didn't.
Mr. Chair, just to,
No, this was, no, I'm sorry, I was using the packet that was
Yeah.
printed out, not the latest one.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just to point out, in Article 3, we're also calling to borrow $200,000 for the CAD system upgrade for the police department. So if we are considering pulling items, just want to make it clear that council
Is
didn't,
that in 2027 or is that in
It's in,
2028?
it's in 27.
27. Just want to call it out, that the council's comment is all the way at the bottom for Marine Enterprise Fund, but there's also a plan to borrow, it's, Section 3, line F, for 200,000.
Yep.
Yes. CAD system upgrade.
So if we wish, if we are going to pull out borrowing articles for the capital budget, we just should do both and not just the marina. Which I think,
What's the opinion of the administrator or the other board members? As I said, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other.
I think he's asking you, Tom.
I would make it all a 2/3 vote. I'd have them vote the entirety of the capital plan. That would be my recommendation. I don't have a strong feeling toward it either.
I think it'll pass.
Yeah, I don't remember separating this out last year.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Nor the year before, but I was kind of not paying attention.
Yeah, you were.
But it's through the chair.
No.
Yes.
But, I mean, council's suggesting it. I mean, perhaps there's a reason for that. Do we know anything more? Or is she just pointing it out to us?
I think she's
Just pointing it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have a strong feeling either way.
I would just as soon leave it as it is.
That's what you've
So-
done the last couple of years, as I
So the
recall.
whole, so the entire capital budget's subject to a two-thirds majority. So
Right,
that's
because
what
the
we want.
moderator gets up and says there is borrowing on this, we're going to need
Right.
2/3.
Right, but, right, okay, I just,
Yeah.
perhaps I'm the only one, but I'm not sure I want the entire budget dependent upon a two-thirds vote.
Yeah,
Capital
previous
budget,
years,
I think it
we've
makes
done
sense
a
to
lot of-
break it out.
Sorry, Barbara.
Yeah.
What's that, Ryan?
I was just going to say that in previous years, oftentimes we have had the borrowing articles as separate, but we've also had years where they've been combined. So there's no hard and fast rule.
The numbers also aren't adding up.
No, are you on the capital budget?
Yep.
There are some numbers that had changed that Sue didn't send me, so I have to, I spoke to Fran today as well. I need to insert them along with the capital budget tomorrow, because we were going back and forth with so many numbers, and they were labeled for warrant, and unfortunately, with the operating budget, she did not label it for warrant, so I didn't get it until literally 10 minutes before the meeting.
No, I understand.
So we're gonna sit down and change those numbers
I-
tomorrow.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to call out that the 680 plus 200 doesn't equal.
Yeah, no, we dropped that back down to
595.
500.
Okay.
That got dropped down.
And town council sent, literally at 5 o'clock today, at 6 o'clock, right before the meeting, a revised red line, so
So-
I'll send that to you tomorrow morning as well.
So I'm starting to understand the reason for the comment and the motivation, and I do think it's reasonable to give town meeting an opportunity to debate borrowing separately from what we can fund through free cash. So I suppose.
We can make that into 2 articles, and we're going to meet with Fran, so that'll be helpful too, with Suzanne out.
Yeah, let
I
me
think
just
that's
pull it.
appropriate.
Okay, do we need a motion for that?
Yes,
Okay, so then, sorry.
No, I would like a motion,
So,
so we have
Mr. Chairman, I move to remove, in the capital budget, item 13F, dock and pilings from the storm, to remove it from this article and to place that in a separate article. Is that enough?
Yeah, all borrowing issues to be in one article, all non-borrowing issues to be in a separate article.
Is it complicated that that's a
Yeah,
combination of free cash?
Tom's-
Hold on, Ryan. That it's a combination
If it's a
of free cash?
combination, it's going to be a 2/3 article because
Oh,
there's
okay.
borrowing involved.
Right.
Okay, Ryan, go ahead.
There's the administrator's suggestion, just saying all borrowing, would make it more flexible for
Sure.
him. Because as Josh said, there's that other one that's a CAD system upgrade, that's currently labeled as borrowing.
Got it.
We know that these funding sources kind of change a little bit as it evolves too.
Okay.
But if we just, say all borrowing,
Okay.
I think that's the
So-
greatest flexibility.
All right, thanks, Ryan. So I'll amend my motion to provide that we remove the item 13F and all other borrowing items to be placed in a separate warrant article.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Passes 5-0.
So I suppose now I would move to insert the fiscal year 27 capital budget exclusive of any borrowing articles.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye?
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Passes
Just-
5-0.
Just for the board's information, although it was going to be part of my report later, you were all emailed on Friday or Saturday, I'm losing sense of time now, of our free cash certification.
Yes.
That came in a little bit higher than we expected. So I am going back to see if we were borrowing a couple of things to see if we can end up paying for them and not having to borrow them. So there may be some minor fluctuations to this article in the line items when you see it on Monday. I don't know if there will be or not, but I'm looking to see if there's some way I can pay for things and not have to borrow for things.
Okay. This is just a short anecdote, but as is policy, I acknowledge receipt of correspondence, and it opened up a help ticket with DOR. They've since closed.
Well, thank you.
Wow. It gave me a small amount of pause for about a minute. Then I
I now need to go out and get some right guard or something because that just.
It corrected itself within a day, so I didn't tell anyone. But anyways, it happened. Article 4, or Marina Services, sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Article 4, Marina Services Enterprise Fund Operating Budget.
So through the chair, is that something that also?
You're just
the
going to
numbers will
insert.
change to? Is that-
Those are pretty good right now. The Harbor Master and the Marine Advisory Committee, from my understanding, have worked pretty well together on everything Marina. I am comfortable with the numbers that he has given us. The only concern that I might have, and the board will have to deal with this at a subsequent meeting, if we can't get the place opened, we may have to consider a
rebate
of depending how long this is, that would have a direct response on the revenue side of the budget, and I can't make that adjustment right now. I don't know what it's going to be.
So then through the chair, should we just vote to insert?
I would just insert it.
Yeah. Because all of these are going to be subject to change anyway.
Then I'll take this one. Mr. Chairman, I vote to insert the Marina Services Enterprise Fund Operating Budget article into the warrant.
The word service needs to be struck.
Got it.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the Marina Enterprise Fund.
Enterprise, yeah, good point. The Marina.
Thanks, Ryan.
And it would needs to be struck in the text below the
water
as well.
enterprise.
No, in the explanation
Okay.
underneath the title.
No, to see if some of yada 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 for the Marina Enterprise Operating Budget or Marina Services Enterprise Operating Fund.
Scratch it there
budget.
and scratch it in the summary.
Yep, and so just the services, the fund is the Marina Enterprise Fund.
Got it.
I think that was a town council.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, just
Yeah, I think it was town
read it
council.
without the word service. Or strike that's good enough, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Enough.
Just go ahead and second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
You seconded it?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0. Water Enterprise Fund Operating Budget.
It is what it is. I note that we're using a little general subsidy this year because of the increased costs that we've had from Veolia with the new contracts and that type of thing. But we have done more than that in the past. This is kind of minimal for our underwriting of the water department, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Okay.
Okay. You have a motion?
Are these numbers finalized, pretty much?
These are done, yes.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, would you entertain a motion?
Yeah, yes, certainly.
I move to insert and recommend the Water Enterprise Fund operating budget.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Just a procedural question, I guess for you, Ryan. We don't need to do a separate motion to recommend?
No, you can do it all in one, but sometimes if we're waiting for things to kind of settle, we'll withhold our recommendations immediately. But if that's why I was asking if the numbers were pretty well set.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well,
Those are good.
And also, his motion was to insert and recommend.
Right.
So by our vote saying yes, we're recommending it as well.
Yep, so I'll
Right.
put it in the warrant right now.
Yep. So,
Okay, so
on
it's
to
been
the next.
seconded?
There was
I
a
think we
vote
voted. I
already.
think we
Oh,
voted.
already.
We voted it,
That's
yep.
right.
Okay.
Okay, it's getting late.
I know.
Article, free cash transfers.
This would
Just-
just be,
Mr. Chair, through you to the town
Yeah.
administrator, just for the members of the public, this is per policy.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
And, yes, this will bring us to policy in both.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Capital stabilization doesn't have a limit,
Okay.
okay, but the stabilization has a 4%. 4% or
Okay.
5% limit, yes.
Is this likely to change?
No, this will not change.
Okay, then we can have a motion to insert. and
So,
recommend.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we insert and approve, recommend free cash transfers, Article 6, if it's stated.
Don't use the number.
No,
It's
Free
no longer
cash,
going to be Article
okay,
6.
free cash transfers.
Second,
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Did I,
John?
I'm sorry, did I?
Oh, you did
Josh,
it right. Yes,
John, aye.
Okay.
Passes 5-0.
is the next.
We're up to Wellfleet Permanent Firefighters Association Union Local 4342 contract.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it was, I don't anticipate that we will be concluded with our fire department negotiations. We might be. We're making good progress and everybody's working well together. So this article it may need to go forward. It may need to be passed over until the fall. And depending on the numbers that we end up with, it may end up being removed or just passed over. We'll leave it in. If we can fund it through the budget, we'll fund it in the budget.
That was called an indefinite postponement?
That would be called an indefinite postponement. I'm not sure we're going to need to do that yet, but it may be a possibility.
Okay, so-
Hopefully, we'll be able to get done.
So do we take a motion on that?
I would insert it,
Okay.
only insert it at this point.
Mr. Chair, I move to insert the Wellfleet Permanent Firefighters Association Union Local 4342 contract.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Brian, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Before we go to the other collective bargaining agreements, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I don't see the police.
The police are done. They're coming to you. We were going to do that at the last meeting, but we got tied down with some of the safety protocols we were discussing. The police chief will be before you at your
5:15,
Yep.
executive session next Tuesday.
next Tuesday at 5:15.
I get that. I just think, don't they need an article for town meeting?
Not if we can fund it through the budget.
Which they are, right?
Would there, through the chair, if it's not, do we need, I think Ryan perhaps is suggesting do we need a placeholder article in case it does go on the warrant? Ryan, is that what you're getting at?
Or is it part of the general budget?
Kind of. A lot of times I remember that the collective bargaining agreements are typically on the warrant. I can't really remember the reason for all of them. Sometimes it was related to associated proposition 2.5 overrides, but I'm not really sure.
Now, we had a ruling years ago that if you needed to raise and appropriate money separately from the budget, like we were going to do the override at the beginning, you'd have to have a vote. If you are able to fund the contracts in your general fund budget without that, it's included in your numbers, and when they vote the numbers, they vote the contract. I've been ruled several times that that's okay, so.
Okay.
That's what but these aren't done yet, so I'm expecting we won't have the ability to get the numbers inserted by the time we go to press.
I see.
And we'll have to do, I'm not sure. If we finish up Monday, maybe we can.
I have one other question. So somewhere in the general budget, there's a police site?
It's in their, it's in their budget.
We already said we'd
Yeah.
insert,
It's
okay.
all in their budget.
All right.
That and the dispatchers.
So we can move now to,
And I just want to emphasize, negotiations are going well. There's nothing, they're going well. It's just, I'm not sure we're going to get to everything by the time we get to town meeting on this.
So I'll need a motion on Teamsters Local Union 59.
Same issue there, although I think we're going to finish next week.
Did we do 7?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to insert the Teamsters Union Local 59 contract as amended, but to be printed without annotations or various colors and underlines.
second.
Roll call vote.
Sorry.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, I.
That was good.
Same for 9,
Okay.
which is the Wellfleet Employee Union contract.
Mr. Chair, I vote that we insert the employee union contract to the budget,
Into the warrant.
into the warrant, and we
That's all.
we're just inserting it.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
John?
Josh, aye.
Josh, aye. Excuse me.
And John, I. Passes 5-0. Now up to Shellfish Revolving Fund spending limit.
I got to get to Carolyn's.
Can I jump ahead one, Mr. Chair?
Is there some reason that we can't?
Yes. It's because currently what's labeled as Article 11, it's no longer going to be Article 11, establishes basically the Shellfish and Marina Revolving Fund.
I see.
So it would make more sense in sequence to have that ahead of the spending limit. But also that article needs to be split because it's currently labeled as Marine Gas Yearly Revolving Fund, but then it incorporates the Shellfish Fund and also subjects it to the same spending limit as the Marina. So it would work best if the revolving fund, if both of them just had separate articles, even if most of the text is the same. It just makes it cleaner. But to have the article governing the Shellfish Revolving Fund go ahead of the spending limit would make sense to me.
Yeah, and I have communicated with town council today that may be on discussion for tonight, and we may be splitting it into 2. And we would consider a bylaw at the special town meeting, or the second half of the town meeting, because we can't pull a bylaw in the advertising and all the stuff that we need to do before we go to print.
So then through the chair, what would we be doing?
There would be,
What would the warrant article for
to
this town
see if the
meeting be?
town will vote to allow under the statute for revolving fund for shellfish propagation in the amount not to exceed, expending limit not to exceed the $60,000 or $70,000 that she normally puts in there. And there'll be a little table that shows it.
Okay, but then would we be, and then in the fall, there would be an article to
create a bylaw.
Okay, I get it, thank you.
Can I suggest that we table Shellfish Revolving and Marina Gas Yearly Revolving until our meeting next week so that council can clean up this language?
Sure.
Yeah, and currently the Article 10, if they're split into separate articles, the spending limit can be incorporated into the separate one for the shellfish.
Into the motions, right.
Yep.
Fund, and it would, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to skip 10 and 11. I mean,
Yeah, the way we have them right now, they are split, and that's the way I would leave them, not from what council had suggested.
okay. So the 2 revolving fund articles we're going to table for.
No, they'll become Articles 10 and 11, if you will, instead of just 10.
They won't be 10 and 11.
Yeah, I know.
because of the borrowing one.
Right. They will be different numbers, but
Yes,
they
they'll
will be
be-
separately numbered.
Okay, then we're,
The Shellfish Advisory Board has not been presented the revolving fund spending or any of the current stuff that the Shellfish Department wants to spend. It's not going to be presented until Monday night, and we were told that it shouldn't be presented until after you had seen it, but we weren't told that you would consider inserting it as an article on the warrant. But we will have an answer for you Monday night, Tuesday morning, because we're going to go over that, just so you're aware.
all right,
Thank you.
appreciate that, thanks. Okay, then on to startup costs for wastewater facility.
What's the number?
Well, on
Is it
this, it
there's no
says,
number.
but it's not going to be the same number. We're saying that we're going to read it and insert it. So are we just looking
For
to,
Lawrence Hill, yeah.
are we just,
Yeah.
we're looking to insert this?
Yeah, insert it, it's going to be about a $300,000 article out of free cash.
Okay.
We don't. have
Maybe
the number.
350, but yeah.
So what we're doing is making a motion to insert the wastewater startup costs
Yeah,
for wastewater.
Through the chair, could I request that we specify that that's Lawrence Hill wastewater facility, if that's the case?
It would go to the enterprise fund. So we established the sewer enterprise fund last year.
Right.
So those funds should go into the sewer enterprise fund. And it should say that in the article.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Okay, but I just suggest we specify what wastewater facility we're talking about, so it's
Yeah,
not just
Lawrence
a
Hill
wastewater, but a specific one.
We can do both.
Thank you.
Okay. So are we going to vote,
I think we should take no action on this until language is revised.
okay, we'll table this until the language is revised.
And to place said funds into the sewer.
Amending Article 3 from 2025.
Article 3 from 2025 is
Where are we?
Article 13.
Okay.
Article 4 of
The article for amending the article from 2023 annual town meeting.
Right. So back in '23, I think we've explained this a couple of times, but there was $200,000 voted to do a master plan for the harbor, which I was really excited about. And one of the issues with the ice machine is we were trying to get a different shroud on the ice machine, and that ended up not working well. But there's so much work done at the marina that has gone south in the last 18 months that I would like to repurpose this for capital repairs at the marina, in addition to what we've already put in down there, leaving $50,000, which isn't a lot of money in today's day and age, but it would get us perhaps half of that would probably get us a professional to help us work with the Marine Advisory Board on putting a spec together for that. But I don't see this happening for the next couple of years until we get stuff operational down there. That's my thought. And the intent was to try not to borrow anymore, not to go above our levy limit, and if we have monies and articles, we've closed them out before. I don't want to close this out, I just want to repurpose 75% of it.
Well, I would say, we should be able to have a motion to insert this.
I would hope that you would insert and
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, through the chair. I mean, we're in a difficult position because, that harbor master plan was about more than the marina itself. So we are really, we were asking town meeting to repurpose it I mean, I know, the town administrator has worked really hard to find money, and I think it's unfortunate that it has to come out of a harbor, the master plan, which again, wasn't just about the marina, but about the health of the harbor generally, and there were other committees involved. Natural Resources was, I think, the proponent of this study.
It was the harbor study. It was not, I don't think that was part
No,
of the
that was
master
different.
plan.
But the master plan, that was, all right, if I'm mistaken, but I'm certainly prepared to insert, in a pinch, I suppose I'd vote to recommend, but maybe someone else can make the motion.
What, are we recommending, or we are recommending?
Let's do separate motions if Barbara has a concern, or if we want to give more time for the
No,
recommendation.
through the chair, I'll support it.
Okay.
All right, I'll make the motion. So, Mr. Chairman, I move to insert an article that will amend Article something from 2023 annual town meeting to repurpose funds allocated for the harbor master plan.
Okay, are you in
Insert and recommend, sorry.
Oh, insert and recommend?
Yep.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye, sorry.
John, aye. Passes 5-0. Now we're up to amend Article 3 from the 2025 Wellfleet Annual Town Meeting to amend language. And this has to
So Mr. Chairman, last year in the capital plan, there was money in the budget for a light duty vehicle, it was 130. And the harbor master, with my approval, so I'm not throwing this on the harbor master, wanted to get a hoist for that truck as well, which required a heavier machine than a F-150 or 250. I told him that would be okay. And technically, it's not. We need to amend the article to better depict what he's buying with that. And that's what we're doing, is we're just clarifying the purchase. He hasn't purchased anything yet, so. But until this is clarified, and it was Sam who brought it up, and he made a good, Sam Bradford, and it was a good point, so.
So are we just inserting?
My recommendation to the board would be to insert and recommend, but that's up to the board.
Okay.
And this is the vehicle that's going to have the hoist?
It will have a hoist.
Okay.
It's actually, it's a crane.
Yeah.
And it's a chassis that is built to work in conjunction with the F-350.
It goes over it, right?
It goes over it, so the crane has outriggers, it has an upgraded chassis, and it really is a heavy-duty operation. And the good thing and the nice thing about this particular truck is there's a cost savings element to this. Right now, we have to either use DPW equipment and staff, or we have to outsource the work to pull the docks on an annual basis. This will allow them to do that work themselves and not have to outsource that.
Couple of follow-up questions. Are there any licenses required to operate this?
A hoisting license, but that's not a big deal to get. Most of our DPW people have that as well. It's an easy.
And does this run into, if the harbor master and their staff are operating it, does this run into any conflict with any union contracts we have?
No.
Okay.
They're in the Teamsters, so they're okay.
It was a concern that was voiced to me, and so I just wanted to relate.
Yeah, no, there's no union issues. They would have to get their hoisting license, and that will, we give a premium for those who get their hoisting licenses and their contracts, so.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Just a small grammatical correction. There needs to be another quotation mark in front of harbor master medium duty vehicle, and what I can't even say the last one. It probably should be underlined, because that's what we're basically amending the language. So when you do that, you strike through the
Light duty and highlight the medium, yep.
Yeah.
And where did you say you wanted that comma, Ryan?
Well, it could be a comma, or it could start with an underline. It says, replacing said language with and right there, right
Quotation
after
mark.
with.
Okay, I got it. I see what you're
The quotation
saying.
is at the end, but not in the beginning.
Yeah,
of
we'll
that.
put quotes and we'll highlight it and we'll underline it. I got it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move to insert and recommend an article entitled Amend Article 3 from the 2025 Wellfleet Annual Town Meeting Annual Town Meeting to amend language as amended and suggested by Member Curley, articulating the amendments with the underline and strike-through formatting that town meeting is familiar with.
Got it.
That's a long one, but that, I'll
First thing in the
second
morning,
that.
we'll go through this. so-
Okay, roll call vote?
Ross.
Okay.
Ryan, I.
Barbara, aye.
Oh, Sheila, aye. I'm
Josh,
sorry.
aye.
I'm looking.
And John, aye. Passes
Okay, I
5-0.
gotta wake up or we're not gonna get out of here. All right.
And then continuation of the Navigator program.
That's important. I move that we,
That, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
that article should read a little differently.
Yeah.
To see if the town will raise and appropriate or transfer a sum of money to continue the various human service programs and, no, that's the Navigator program.
So let's table this to next week.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry, I just
By the way,
caught
just to
that.
backtrack, did we, on the amending language article we just approved,
Yeah.
was that to insert and recommend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that
good.
was, yeah.
Yeah, let's leave this till the next one.
Okay.
All right, so then.
For the Navigator program, can you look at previous warrants?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
it?
Summary came from the Navigator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, the summary's not the issue.
No, the
the way
article
we-
needs to be
Because we're asking
tweaked.
to.
Reducing
That's
a
easy.
deficit in the short-term debt fund. 33.
Okay, so this is, I'm not sure how to explain this because I don't really understand it, but I'm going to try. Back in 2022 and 2023,
Oh, yeah.
the town voted to borrow some money. And it wasn't put on the right side of the ledger. So when we did the recap, the accountant's going to have to explain this better than I can. When we did the recap last year, this $605,000 showed, and we sent it up. And normally, if there was a problem, they deduct it from your free cash and send you on your way. Well, they missed it for whatever reason. So they are requiring us to rectify this, not by the recap this year, but by a town meeting vote. So we're rectifying a bookkeeping issue that should have been resolved in '23.
Okay.
That wasn't. And I just say this to the board so they don't get tweaked. This is going to happen a few more times over the next few years. Things keep popping up from when 21, 22, 23.
Right.
And, the auditors may pick it up, the DOR may pick it up. And we're going to have these hiccups from time to time.
Outliers coming home.
Yeah. So I don't want people to be freaky when they
Right.
see stuff. Some of
Right,
this.
now,
yeah.
I already know that.
Mr. Chairman?
Chair.
Yes.
Barbara would
Through
like to be
the
recognized.
chair, I appreciate Tom's explanation. Thank you. Town council has a note, confirm with DOR that this article is sufficient. So through the chair, do we want to wait until we find out if this is sufficient? before
I'll
we-
send it up to them. I bet you Sue already has, but I will see.
I guess my question is, do you want to wait for us to vote to
Yeah, I'd
insert
wait, I'd
until
wait.
after? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to table that till the next
Guilfoyle.
iteration.
We're up to section 3, community preservation articles.
Mr. Chair?
They are what they are.
They are what they
May
are.
we vote and recommend as a block? Is that
Right.
Yes, I was
appropriate
going to
action?
recommend the same.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move to insert and recommend community preservation articles as presently numbered 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 into the annual town meeting warrant.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Is that
Ryan,
insert
aye.
and recommend?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote. Ryan voted.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, I. Passes 5-0. That brings us to,
So 25, Five-Way Intersection is not a citizen petition. I was bringing this before the board, but I would like to withdraw it and take it up at the fall town meeting if we still want to do it.
Did you confer with your other signatories on
It
that?
was not a citizen's
Okay,
petition.
all right,
It was me as a
It was
board
just you,
member
okay.
offering it to
Just
the
you?
board for consideration.
all right.
okay, so do we
Okay.
need a motion to take that out?
No,
No, we just don't.
Just withdraw it.
Don't insert it
just don't touch it.
That's Article 25.
as of right now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just crossing it out, that's all.
All right, Maurice's Campground Ownership and Housing Rental Balance.
And so, Mr. Chairman, that is a petitioned article?
Yes.
So that's on the warrant. We don't need to.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to.
We don't need to, right. I would ask that we defer a vote on the recommendation to the future.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask Mr. Curley a question, if I might.
Yep.
Mr. Curley, is this the area where we want to move some things around, or is this in an order that you're okay with?
I think it would make a lot of sense to have the advisory article on the Maurice's master plan to be in the same section. That way, people aren't waiting another 3 or 4 articles to have the same debate.
I agree.
Where is that?
It's currently 32, and it's page 32.
Oh, okay, so you want that before all of them or with them?
It's up to the board. I would do it before, just out of a matter of form, but it's totally up to the board.
In years past, have advisory articles come before citizens petitions, or have citizens petitions come before advisory articles?
So advisory, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, but typically if there's a petitioned article and there's a different version that's done by the select board, the select board article will come first. That's how we handle a lot of the zoning that's petitioned, where the select board article comes before the petitioned article.
I'm not sure. I just feel that the other articles are, in a sense, people asking questions.
Right, but petitioned articles generally go
Last.
and that's the format, and the board is absolutely able to change the format as they will, but generally speaking, the petitioned articles that don't, are last. Yeah, it's just past practice.
I would say follow past practice.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm moving them now.
Thank you. So I don't have to make a note
However,
of that.
I move to insert the article entitled Maurice's Campground Ownership and Housing Rental Balance.
Isn't that a petitioned article?
We don't vote on it.
We don't have to, they're going to be inserted
We're
because
gonna
they're
defer
already.
voting on
Yeah, I
it.
would like to defer that, the vote,
Understood.
recommendation.
Unless somebody wants to.
Oops.
I would, I think that merits a discussion and not now.
Yeah.
So,
Agree.
yeah.
Okay, then the next one would be Maurice's Campground final approval by town meeting.
So I would say the same thing, defer discussion on a recommendation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Article-
One question I have here
Yeah,
is the town meeting already has to approve any disposition of town land. And I'm not, yeah, I just, like, town meeting already has to approve any disposition. And people should understand that.
I think we're getting into discussion of the article itself, and I'd
All
suggest
right.
we table that.
Right.
Okay, home rule petition to add shell fishermen and other aquaculture workers to the Seasonal Communities Act.
I would like to make some amendments to this.
Okay.
So I would like to broaden it to include those also working in marine fisheries and healthcare professionals. I have amended language for the home rule petition. I can circulate it if that's how people would
Yes, please.
would want to do it.
Yeah, that would be good.
So through the chair, Ryan, do you want to put off, or I guess everybody, put off insertion of this, or would it be
Before you send it.
appropriate to insert it now and finish it later?
I think we can table it. That'll be my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send a red line version. Well, it's already in red for me, but different color.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it would make a lot of sense to include, those working in other marine fisheries, and definitely healthcare professionals.
Okay, then we'll table that then. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right, then, moving on to authorize electronic voting at open town meeting.
That's a petition
Yeah.
It's a
article.
petitioned article, so people can vote on that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Is the moderator still here?
No.
No.
We left a while ago.
Yeah, we want a good, robust.
He has
Yes.
specific views on this.
Oh, yes.
Right, so I definitely want that on the record. Okay,
So, up to amendment to Affordable Housing Trust bylaw, expansion of area median income eligibility threshold.
So I authored the original article, presented it to the Affordable Housing Trust. I unfortunately missed the meeting in which it was discussed, and there was an amendment made. It's the very last sentence on page 30 where it says, "or the maximum percentage greater than 120% as the Commonwealth may allow." I had a discussion with town council, and it's advised that we strike that sentence, and so we end the article with the word income, area median income, period. We have a meeting tomorrow to review whatever the board
That's not a petitioned article.
inserts, and then for their recommendation.
Not right.
And so, just to bring the board up to speed on what this is doing is that the Wellfleet Affordable Housing Trust has two treasury accounts that we operate in. One is monies that we receive from CPA, and that's restricted to 100% AMI.
right.
We have a second fund that comes mostly from private donations and occasionally through grants that is what we considered unrestricted. The town of Wellfleet intentionally, when they incorporated the Wellfleet Affordable Housing Trust, restricted that fund to 120% of AMI.
I see.
After hearing all of the discussions that we've heard at town about addressing the missing middle about supporting attainable housing, not just affordable housing, we can utilize the Affordable Housing Trust as a vehicle to support attainable housing as well.
Right, people with their mortgages, and they don't have to hit this low.
Correct. And so, I initially had suggested 200%. The trust suggested 250% AMI. I still think that's reasonable. That still falls well within the band where it's just enough to afford the average home in Wellfleet, which is shocking to hear that 250% of AMI is just enough to buy.
Right.
But there's no state law prohibiting an affordable housing trust from having a limit up to 250. And so,
Yeah, and
Ryan, you
through
got your
the-
hand up?
I'll wait for Barbara.
Thanks, through the chair, just 250% is consistent with seasonal communities legislation and the definition of attainable housing under seasonal communities, which is up to 250%. So that would support this as well.
Okay, so
And then,
Yeah, just some. So,
It's, I think it's fine.
I don't know. The state guidance so far has been that you need a separate year-round housing trust that could hold a deed restriction on a property above the traditional affordable limits under the seasonal communities. I think we should look at I mean, I think we should pursue this article, but I think we should also, and this could be for the fall, have an article to establish a year-round housing trust that could then hold those deed restrictions. We could have the same membership as the Affordable Housing Trust for that, just to cover our bases. And then the language that was amended, I'm fine with removing it. Sometimes we work around that by saying like, or the maximum allowed by law, or something like that, but it varies.
Yes, that was
Was the language,
Yeah, Member Curley, that was a conversation I had with council. You know, their suggestion was to remove it because it's vague. You know, as currently stated, as the Commonwealth may allow, but who specifically? They also said that it would likely be struck by the AG's office anyways, to be sent back to us.
Okay.
And then council seems to have wanted to move all the whereas to the summary, which is fine with me.
Right.
So what do you want to do with this?
So I'm prepared to move to insert and recommend.
Right.
Second.
So I'm.
Question for the board. The trust is, the sentence is, the trust is authorized to provide for funded support up to 250. We want to take that out.
No. So we're leaving in the formatting of the 120% that's struck through, that stays.
Okay.
250% that's underlined, that stays.
Okay.
The sentence ends at the word income.
Income, okay, and scratch or.
We remove or and everything following.
Okay.
We have to put it's area median income period quotation mark would be the actual
Yeah, that's
ending.
correct. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then I move to insert and recommend the amendment to Affordable Housing Trust bylaw, expansion of area median income eligibility threshold as amended.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Josh, aye.
Sheila, aye. I'm sorry.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Great.
Up to
31.
financial provisions and procedures charter change.
So I have a question that the moderator spoke to.
You caught me by surprise on that, too.
Well, I think he caught a head movement that might have been a bit telling. Can someone explain to me why if this charter change was approved at town meeting, why it could not go to the town election?
I have to check the statute on that. Based on what the moderator was saying, there may be a time period that it can't be voted on for 90 days after the town meeting vote or something like that. I got to check the statutory.
So
that's unusual.
So just to explain to the board why I feel this needs to be acted on at spring town meeting, is because if you do the math on what the longest amount of time it could take for this to come back to us as a charter amendment, we would be well into budget season for FY28. We need this charter change for FY28. This is the roadmap. Additionally, we're going to table this because we also do need the bylaw that we've discussed that's
Right.
not currently in this draft. So we're going
Send it to me?
I did. And then I think Fran just also sent the summary, which she apologized for that was not done in time, but we'll have all that. But just so the board understands why I would advocate for this to be on the Springtown meeting is if allowed by law. And I'm very curious as to
I'll find out.
Yeah.
Because that hit me a little odd.
You know, if everyone takes the maximum amount of time that they're allowed to take to review this, we're going to get this back too late. So we should get on this as soon as possible. That's my piece.
So through the chair.
Yeah.
Can we just,
Go ahead.
so does that mean, can we wait until we kind of get the explanation to insert? Would that be
Yeah.
okay?
So we're going to table?
The other thing the board could do, if for some reason this has to be delayed, you could just set a policy based on this for the FY28 budget.
Yeah. I would be fine with delaying this till the fall. The charter change is a delayed process. It typically takes a year for any charter change to become effective. So no matter what happens with this with the charter change, officially it wouldn't be in effect when we're going through the budget.
Right.
next year. But we can definitely refer to it as a process we'll use. So we would probably have to have a policy governing that year either way.
So the legal requirement is that the, be held at least 2 months after the order proposing such change becomes effective.
Got it. So even if we had the fall town meeting, we wouldn't vote on it till the next spring.
Right.
Okay.
Now, you could hold a special election at the October meeting.
2 months
If you
after.
if you passed it now, you could hold it at the October meeting. Well, I have to check with the town clerk, I know. But I'm saying not from a, do we want to do this, but from a strictly timetable perspective, you could do that.
I think, there's no pride of authorship in this, only that I was the designated, author from our side, but I'm very comfortable drafting a policy that we adopt shortly in the near future that corresponds to the charter and bylaw intentions, and then, let's just run it through the normal course. That's fine. This is going to be a long time meeting anyways.
So then you would accept the moderator's suggestion?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we would have the bylaw and our ducks in a row.
Yeah. I wish we had known this when we first started drafting this charter change. It's better late than never. So.
Charter changes are weird.
Yeah, they're very weird. Extremely weird.
And I don't want to ask voters to come out for a special election on this charter change. It's not, and I'm not going to ask, the town clerk and the election workers to do the same. If there were other items, maybe that would be something different, but,
It would be a rude irony to incur the cost of a special election for
Yes, it
Chapter
would.
7 of our charter.
It would. It'd be money not well spent.
All right.
All right.
All right, so we're up to Maurice's master plan. I think we didn't.
We did that, we already switched
No.
that.
Wait, no, we didn't do this
We haven't
one.
discussed this
We
at
haven't
all.
talked about, this is a different one.
Oh.
We were
yeah,
talking
did
about
other
the
one.
marina. Yeah, and I guess through the chair, could we just talk a bit about where this came from and
Yeah.
how it was prepared?
Which article now?
32,
you.
Maurice's Campground
Yeah.
Master Plan, since it is proposed as requested by the Select Board.
So I'll give you some background and some motivation as to why. So I authored the initial draft of this. I consulted with Member Curley as well, along with Mr. Sussman, who's the chair of the Maurice's Campground Planning Committee. And they're all supportive of seeking town meeting's advice on whether they support the master plan that we all approved, not all, 4-1, voted for nearly a year ago. I think what we've heard in this last year is that there is more than just some, but many people who feel uncomfortable with the master plan. What I would like to see is a clear mandate from the town if they support this board's decision on the master plan. I think that members of the Maurice's Campground Planning Committee have had to carry an undue burden of following the mandate of the board without having a clear mandate from the town. And so, hindsight's 20/20. I think if we were to do this again with lessons learned, we would have put this master plan to town meeting first before it came to the select board to vote. I don't think this delays zoning. I think this simply gets a sense from the town whether they support the master plan as defined and accepted by the board or not.
I agree with this article.
So just through the chair then, because you referenced zoning, so I know the Maurice's Campground Committee has been working with a consultant on zoning, and that zoning is more or less, I won't say tied to, but let's say it presumes something consistent with the master plan. So if there is a vote by town meeting that it does not support the master plan, then what happens to that zoning process?
We'll have to take that into consideration then, I think.
We have contractual obligations. So that zoning process would likely continue. Whether or not it would be implemented or not would depend. But at least we would have a draft of zoning if we do have to rescope the project to refer back to and have that work, mostly done.
But, I mean, through the chair, I guess what I was getting at is, I mean, the intent of the committee was to bring zoning, an overlay district, to town meeting in the fall. So if this is, if town meeting does not support the master plan, what happens, does that mean that the committee will not bring the article to town meeting in the fall, the zoning article?
I don't.
I don't want to speak for the committee. Ultimately, it would be the select board sponsoring the zoning articles either way. But, I think they're also a way to have constructive conversations with the public once we do a community engagement session related to zoning. And then, I don't know, zoning's complicated, but, yeah.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I suppose another, at least the way my logic flow has been with the current scope of zoning is that zoning, and I'm now speaking to someone who does this for a living, so apologies for the inarticulation of what I'm about to say, but zoning is not prescriptive. It doesn't require certain scale. It just limits certain boundaries of use. So even if there was an allowed use that is aligned with the master plan, but let's, playing out this scenario where the town votes and say we do not like the master plan, we're going to hear why. And I think that there's an opportunity to say we can adjust here, we can adjust there, or we can bring an overlay where a 3-story multifamily building is allowed, but we understand that the master plan will change to not include that. So even though it is allowed in the space, it will not proceed, even though it is allowed under zoning, which might not be the best way to go about things. But I'm just I'm just thinking through what are the knock-on effects if we hear from town meeting that they do not support the master plan. The zoning overlay doesn't require that you build to those maximum specifications.
Right.
Correct.
It just allows it.
Correct.
Right, but I guess, to the extent that, I think there is a relationship, though, between the master plan, and that's what we would be asking for town meetings' sense of. But since the committee has been working on something that was directed towards presentation at town meeting in the fall, I just wanted to explore sort of what it would mean, and I guess we're not entirely sure. So that was my question.
Yeah, and if I may, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
So at last year's annual town meeting, there was a healthy debate over the master plan, particularly around some of the funding that the committee had requested. I think that sort of debate is healthy. So, I at the time, it actually, just because of where the master plan landed sequentially, it wouldn't have made that annual town meeting because, it basically was presented to the select board just a week before the election, and then the select board acted after the election. So it would have had to have been at the fall town meeting, but I think it would have been helpful to follow Charles' model initially. So yes.
So where does this leave us?
I'm going to recommend that we insert this article.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say is I think because this is specifically asking to advise the select board, I think it's appropriate for the select board to insert, but not give a recommendation one way or another. I think this is an opportunity for us to listen, and then We can
I
certainly
agree.
speak on town meeting floor, our personal opinions, but I think as a board, this is our opportunity to listen.
To hear.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a good article to put in.
All right. Then I'll
So-
take a motion.
So I will make a motion that we insert it's listed, that's not Article
Maurice-
32,
Maurice's
it's
campground.
Article 30.
Just the name.
No, what's the number?
What's the name of it?
32,
Just the name, no number.
right.
Maurice's Campground Master Plan.
Oh, it is the Maurice's Campground Master Plan.
Second.
Okay.
Roll call vote?
Ryan, aye. Oh, wait, there was no second.
Yeah,
there
Josh
were-
did.
I
Somebody
seconded.
did.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah,
seconded.
Josh second.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0.
Okay.
Now we're up to the short-term rental bylaw.
I move,
There needs to be changes.
there was some changes, yeah.
So there was a provision that was included in our last meeting that's not inclusive here. That's basically allows for the transference of rental certificates if a single parcel has more than 3 as of, the effective date of May 11th, 2026.
Ann has sent that up to council for review as well.
So do we table this?
Table
Let's
it till
table it.
next week, yeah.
Okay. Then we're up to the standard annual article.
I would just double check those motions entirely in case there was somebody else's amendment that might have been missed as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, standard, section 5, standard annual articles. This is just the standard stuff that,
Yep. And so,
so we can just take a vote to insert and recommend on this.
Yeah.
So I'll take a motion.
Do we want to do,
move to insert and recommend section 5 in its entirety.
I'll second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye. Passes 5-0. And then section 6, standard closing articles.
I move to insert and recommend section 6.
Second.
There's a section 6.
Yeah.
Doesn't there has to be a closing article?
Well, that's what then there's sections, there's Article 7. I mean, the last article is other business.
Yeah, there needs to be a closing article.
Well, that would be,
That's your closing. Your standard closing is the reports of boards and committees, and other business is the last article. In the motion packet, there is to dissolve the town meeting annual warrant.
well, let's vote on section 5.
We did.
Oh,
Okay, we're going to, this is the standard closing articles,
Section 6.
which
Yeah.
is section 6, and I move to insert, I think we already just had, you
I
moved.
had already moved.
Okay, you moved that. Okay, and I second.
all right, then roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
John, aye.
And to the administrator, can you check to make sure if we shouldn't have an article to dissolve
Yes, I will check that.
town meeting?
Yeah.
Because basically, town meeting is super weird. Everything about our form of government's a little weird to the rest of the world. But, there's, for example, there's the time when we lost quorum, and we were trying game plan scenarios. And basically, town meeting can't conclude until, even if it's acted on like 90% of the articles, until they finish the warrant. And that would mean that until that happens, you don't have a budget for the next year. And you would be forced into a 1/12 budget, which would be not good.
No.
And the challenge we had when we lost quorum was basically all the spicy articles had been finished. And we just had, a handful of closing articles. And yeah, fun experience.
Yep.
So, through the chair to administration, I guess, are we supposed to look at the election warrant tonight as well? It's in,
I'd do that next week.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, there needs to be, if there's debt exclusion, there needs to be a ballot question for the debt exclusion.
Now, this is the one, Ryan, through the chair to Ryan, this is the one about amending the charter to allow the select board to,
Yeah,
that one.
but
we're-
there would also have to be a question on the a debt exclusion. If we are,
I think there's other questions here, right?
I think the town administrator is saying not to take up that,
Just bring it up Monday.
yeah.
Okay.
Figure that closing
So-
We're
article
going to table,
out.
okay.
So, okay.
We just want to all get on the same page of everything that we've tabled to make sure that we didn't miss
Yeah.
anything.
I'm going to go back and listen to this tomorrow.
Fair enough.
So, I don't see anything
I
about,
think that's it.
Got reports, minutes, future discussion.
Yeah, can we do future discussion, please?
Yeah, let's,
we still have, select board reports. Do we have any select board reports?
I have a fairly lengthy correspondence, but I would submit a written correspondence report if the board
sounds good.
accepts.
Okay, I have just a really quick one, and I can't remember if I gave this report out before, and I apologize if I did, but the same efficiency and regionalization, the Nauset School Steering Committee meeting. Remember, I had previously advised that the 4 proposals that we ended up with, all of them, or none of them included a Wellfleet Elementary School. So there was another meeting of this group a couple weeks ago, at which, based on discussion and suggestions by the other towns, not just Wellfleet, that there should be an option with keeping a Wellfleet school. So that kind of is the current suggestion. I think there's still a lot of discussion to be had about how comfortable we are, the board is, with that scenario. So that's an item that I was hoping we would have on this agenda or next agenda, which is that discussion. So maybe we can talk about that the next one.
Anyone else with the select board report?
No.
Seeing none, then move on to town administrator's report.
Mr. Chairman, I have good news.
The ice
I bring
machine is
tidings
done.
of good news.
Yeah.
Mr. Dalby at the Marina has been searching grant funding availability, and he has been able to secure $60,000 for the replacement of docks at the launch, at the public launch. This is a grant from the Department of Fish and Game in the Office of Boating Access. This is a little unusual. Generally, we write the grant, and when the contract comes back, the select board, if it's over $50,000, approves it. This one, they want the board to sign the grant itself. So there are 2 pages for signature, one for the Commonwealth and then one for us as the contractor. We are the contractor. This has to be spent by June 30th. It will be. No doubt, but that is good work by Mr. Dalby and the harbor master for directing that, and this is good news. So
Are you passing that?
I'm passing it down for the board to sign the last
okay.
2 pages.
2 pages, all right.
We have opened the bids on the wage and class. I think I mentioned that to you at the last meeting. We have to have another meeting on that. I think there were 5 or 6 proposals, and they range from $22,000 to $200 and some odd thousand dollars, or
Somewhere in between.
$168,000 was the top one. So we have a little more work to do to hone that down. There were 2 or 3 that were kind of in the middle, but there was still a big spread. So we've got to look at that. The electrical bids came in for the dock and the pier. The estimate the engineer gave us and the bid that came in were worlds apart, more than twofold apart. We think that either the bidder missed something or doubled on something, or there was something missed in the spec that should have been clearer from the engineer. John is working with both of them to get a meeting set up to see where that hiccup is. We might have to put it out again, but it's moving.
Am I correct that we only got 1 bid?
That's correct.
That's kind of surprising.
Not surprising up here. We weren't
Yeah, it's not,
shocked.
it's not that surprising.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to
We
receive
weren't shocked.
only one bid.
Vice Chair.
One thing I've been thinking, and this is something for the administrator to think about, is that there's probably at this point some benefit in actually doing some targeted advertising of bid offers. And see, because, the more bids you get, the more likely you're going to have a lower bidder that, delivers the same
Right.
quality, if not better, or, it all varies on how things are rated, but, even if it was like a few $100s for a bid or something like that that's spent on advertising, it might actually end up saving us a lot of money in the long run.
Anything else?
Yeah, one other thing, and then I'll stop. But I am also pleased to announce that through Maya, Mass Interlocal Insurance, we are providing our employees a suite of self-pay benefits, like the AFLACs, and Maya offers a less expensive but more comprehensive deal that has no cost to the town. This has no impact on the town. The life insurance remains with the Boston Mutual, that type of thing. So, but the HR director has been working on this for a while with me, and we will be signing off with Cabot again. Nothing, no policy changes, nothing that would require me to come back to the board on this, because there's not a, the board has the policy, we're just implementing it with a different vendor to offer more cheaper to the employees. That's going to be probably a 3 to 4 month rollout. It's a whole portal and all that type of stuff. With that, Mr. Chairman, it is 25 minutes to 10, and there are other things, but it can wait till the next meeting. Nothing so pressing.
Okay. In that case, we'll move on to topics for future discussion.
Yeah, through the chair again, just a discussion of the Efficiency and Regionalization Steering Committee findings thus far. And
Oh, okay.
thanks.
Through the chair, Select Board Member Carboni, should that be a workshop?
It could be. I'm happy to have that extensive a discussion. I guess I just hadn't thought any farther than getting it on the agenda.
Okay, let's try that first,
But
and then maybe
I-
bring it into a workshop. Okay.
Yes.
I would like public input on it.
I'd welcome that. So,
Public input, yeah.
Yep.
Pass that back down to you.
I
so
think
good
we're all on
idea.
the same page on
Yep.
this one.
So I just leave it to the chair
Very much.
and town administrator to figure out when we can put that on an agenda with an opportunity for public comment.
Is there a consultant that would be presenting or?
So there's a couple things going on. They do plan to have a roadshow of sorts, and there's a date in June for the consultants to make their presentation to the town. However, I think there's important things for the select board and the public to discuss, but definitely the select board to decide, whether how it wants to respond to where we are at this point. I don't want to wait until June to have this discussion. It has to do with, our participation going forward. So I think that's why I want this soon, to at least start the discussion. Thank
We
you.
will have it on for the next meeting.
Thank you.
When's our next agenda meeting?
That would be a week from,
It's April 21st.
yeah, a week from Thursday.
It would be Wednesday, the 15th,
Oh, now, okay, Wednesday, the 15th,
or
not
the
Thursday.
16th, whichever
Yeah.
you choose. No, it'd have to be the 15th. 'cause I'm not
15th.
here the 16th. I mean, 17th.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I know this seems soon, but we need to start talking about goals for FY '27.
Yeah.
One of our goals was to start goal planning early in '26, and so I am trying to check the box.
Just, good, good.
Yeah, I
So-
brought that up. Yeah, we can't be until September again next year.
Agreed.
It typically makes sense to do it shortly after the election.
Agreed.
Right, with the new, if there is.
And then I would like to know where we're at with the comprehensive plan. I know that Member Lyons had said they were going to have discussions with the
Yes,
planner.
that's a very good question. That hasn't been discussed for a while because everybody's been pulled in different directions. So
Totally.
I agree.
Good.
I will.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Sayer is at
Is
the
it the,
podium.
he has,
Yes.
he's gonna
If you don't mind.
help us adjourn. No.
I'll make that motion. I'd like to remind you that you were going to also discuss whether a town committee can send a letter to another town committee
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's still unclear, because the SAB came before you to send one to Maurice's. Other committees have sent letters to other committees, but it's very unclear, and I know you were going to discuss that. So it's not of utmost importance. We need to get through the warrant and budget and everything else.
How about after town meeting, Tim?
Yeah, when we put in our goals.
How about at town meeting?
We'll just add it, put on another article.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
No, that's no problem. I just want to remind you. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, is that it for,
The only other thing that you folks need to start thinking about again, and we all need to work on this together, is we got to move forward with the parking.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got that, we've got to move forward on there. So, that, that'll roll into goals, I'm sure, but we've got some things that are
Yeah.
hanging out there that have been,
Yeah, I did a bit of an FY '26 audit of our goals, and there's a lot of progress to be made.
there's a lot of progress to be made, some progress has been made.
100%.
Yeah.
And we started really late, so, but thank you for reminding me, because that was something that was there.
Yeah.
26.
all right, then let's move on to the minutes.
So through the chair, I have one addition, I guess, on page 6.
Wait, which ones? Sorry, I just want to pull them up so I
Yeah,
can make the
I know.
changes.
It's
Which one?
page 6 of, hang on.
16?
Yeah, where it
The
says
sev-
member.
Hang on. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's March 17th. So page 6, if you get down to the motions.
Yes, I changed that already today with the
Okay.
board members, the names.
Well, no, this was where it says, I guess it's the second one. As after closing the hearing, Carboni moved and seconded, it was voted to amend section 5.1, maximum overnight occupancy, an operator shall not advertise, but the rest of
finish
that.
it. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that was what I emailed to you, the language to you, and it was stated as well.
Okay.
But if
Yep,
that
I'll
could
change that.
could just be subbed in. That was my only comment on the minutes. Thank you.
I did put your amendments in, Josh. There were a few that I didn't write who did it. I just
Yeah.
was trying to get the motion in correctly, so I missed the
no, I get it.
numbers,
Nope.
but I'll do it.
Yeah, just
And
because.
I think this is just something to keep an eye on. It looks like we repeated pages 5 and 6 twice, at least in the packet.
Okay.
Just double check that, it only shows up once.
So are we going to approve both minutes?
We have to
can-
take them separately only because I wasn't present for the March 31st meeting.
31st meeting.
So I move to approve the minutes of March 17th as amended.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. It passes 5-0. Did we, what about the 16th?
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Everybody's fine with that? So I move that we approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2026 joint meeting with Maurice's Planning Committee.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
And John, aye. Passes 5-0. And then,
You weren't here, or you were?
yeah, I was here. I was just recused from the fee discussion. And I see nothing else that I need to amend for myself. So I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the meeting minutes of March 31st, 2026.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ryan, aye.
Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh abstains.
Excuse me.
And John, aye.
And
Passes 4-0 with one abstention.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Aye. Barbara, aye.
Sheila, aye.
Josh, aye.
Ryan?
Ryan, aye.
Aye.
And John, aye.
Did he say bye-bye, or did he say?
He said aye.
Oh, aye, aye.
We are adjourned.